Welcome back to Paulson Stadium. The Georgia Southern Eagles make their way onto the field here from our left out of the Gene Bishop Fieldhouse locker room. Coming up, we'll talk about a very special ceremony prior to the Eagles coming out in honor of the Eagle, Erskine Russell. They have a nice ceremony that Terry Harvin will tell us about in just a little bit. Here is today's officiating crew presented by Professional Eye Care of Statesboro. When making the right call, your vision cannot be compromised. Make eye care a part of your overall wellness plan. Contact Dr. Horace Deal and the staff at Professional Eye Care of Statesboro or visit them online at drdeal.net. That's DRDEAL.net, the official team eye doctor of the Georgia Southern Eagles. Our referee today, Ed Rhodes, umpire Wayne Rigsby, linesman Robert Broom, line judge Garland Berry, field judge Bob Johnson, side judge Rob Rance, and your back judge is Jay Neal. The Georgia Southern Eagles in their home blue jerseys, white numerals, white pants, and of course the Georgia Southern blue helmets, white numerals on the sides, and gray face masks. For the West Georgia Wolves, the visiting team for head coach Mike Ledford, they're dressed in all white. Blue numerals, red trim, and blue helmets for the Wolves, who we have mentioned 1-0 on the season already with the win last Saturday over Clark Atlanta by a final score of 23-11. And I think Terry Harvin, just moments before we kick this thing off, you look out at the prettiest little stadium in America. I think it's easy to say that the Georgia Southern fans are here in support of Coach Hatcher and the 2007 Eagles.
They're here in support of the 2007 Eagles, and Coach Hatcher has done a very good job, and his entire staff is reaching out into the community and embracing the traditions that have held near and dear to Eagle faithful hearts. Opening the game here, he's talked about the yellow school buses, of course, beautiful Eagle Creek, but more than anything, you can throw that all out the window because it's about winning football games, and that's what the Hatch Attack is all about. You see the level of intensity on the field and in the stands.
Time now for the first half kickoff presented by Georgia Farm Bureau Insurance and your Georgia Farm Bureau agents since 1959. Georgia Farm Bureau has offered farm, home, auto, and light commercial insurance. Contact your Georgia Farm Bureau representative today at Georgia Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best. Jesse Hartley, the junior transfer out of Tallahassee, Florida. He'll kick it off from the 30-yard line, and we've got football in Statesboro. Back deep, Kelvin Farrell will let this one get out of the way and into the back of the end zone. And even though, Terry, they've moved it back to the 30, a nice boot off the foot of Jesse Hartley.
A nice boot off of Hartley. It goes about 5 deep into the end zone. The Wolves got to bring it out to the 20, and we'll get our first glimpse of this defense.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to Georgia Southern Football from the Georgia Southern Radio Network.
The home for Georgia Southern Football. Georgia Eagle Broadcasting's Eagle 102.9 WBMX Statesboro.
First down and 10 at the 20-yard line. Keats Baldwin, the senior, out of Flowood, Mississippi, will take the snaps out of the shotgun. 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Stands in the pocket, launches this one high and deep, far sideline, runs out of room. It's caught by Jimmy Howard, but he's 2 feet out of bounds on the far sideline. Remains second down and 10 as the Wolves and Coach Mike Ledford wasting no time. Well, they heard about this Hatch Attack. They know about the Hatch Attack from Valdosta State. And that time, Keats Baldwin, the senior, decided to loft one on his own.
With a no-huddle offense, they immediately attacked the cornerback, Carson Hill. Second-year player, did a firm job, kept him on the sidelines. Ball thrown out of bounds, no play on it.
So now they'll line back up Baldwin out of a shotgun. He's got a back on a wing to his right, James Kennebrew. They'll send a receiver out wide to the left side. Now he'll come in motion, Jimmy Howard. Here's the snap. They're going to give it to Howard. He's going to come near side looking for room. Got a few blocks across the 20 and finally bounced out of bounds at the 25 by the middle linebacker for the Eagles, Quentin Taylor, the transfer out of Ole Miss at 6'3", 237.
Good to have him right there in the presence in the middle. Covington getting knocked out of the way enabled him to make the turn right there. Also, a special note that Brandon Eccles has started the ball game, the safety position as well for the Eagles.
Setting up 3rd down and 5 here at the 25-yard line of their very own. The ball placed on the right hash mark as the Wolves work left to right on your dial. Keats Baldwin in the shotgun. Kennebrew on a wing to his left. They'll send 2 wide to the left side. Now a man in motion coming near side is a long snap count for Baldwin. On 3rd and 5. Steps, fires, well overthrown up around the 43-yard line, looking for Patrick Higgins, and pretty good coverage that time by Brandon Eccles, who Terry just talked about. But that'll set up 4th down and 5, and deep in their own territory with 14:43 to play. The Wolves wisely decide to go ahead and punt this away, and Jason Foster steps onto the field for the first time in 2007, the senior out of Canton, looking to field some punts. And we all know in these stands and in this press box, gentlemen, that Jason Foster is a dangerous character when fielding punts, as he'll take this one from Jared Guberman. Again, he stands back at the 11-yard line. See if the Eagles and the Hatch Attack defense come after it. No, they'll try to set up a little bit of pressure, but they'll try to set up for a return. Foster decides to get out of its way, trying to tell his teammates to do the same as it gets into Eagles territory inside the 35 and down by the Wolves at the 33-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Eagles, their first offensive possession of the year. First offensive possession for head coach Chris Hatcher.
A little bit of a wind down there on the field, Ryan. I've had 37 yards on that.
A little
punch.
bit. Not a whole lot. I think it's going to affect as far as play goes in the next 5 or 10 minutes. I will make an interesting point. I was standing right here in the corner right before kickoff, and Coach Hatcher had a little smile on his face. It was nice to see.
Jason Foster out there to field the punt. He'll step in to take snaps here as the starting quarterback in the opening game, and he gets a nice hand from the Eagle faithful. Dusty Reddick and Mike Hamilton will be in the backfield as Foster will work out of a shotgun. Both backs, a wing to each side. They'll send 2 receivers out to the right, 1 to the left. Rajah Andrews out wide to the right side. And Michael McIntosh over to the near side. Quick throw. Here's the screen. It's going to be caught by Andrews. Breaks free across the 40, 45, and then spilled down as he made it to about the 46-yard line of their very own. It's enough for an Eagle first down.
Dusty Reddick does a good job getting out there and clearing the block. Enables him to get around the corner there and pick up the first down. Good pass and catch by Foster, building some confidence in the quarterback.
12-yard pickup for the Eagles. As we mentioned, first down and 10 as they approach midfield. Right hash mark as they attack right to left on your dial. Andrews and Campbell out wide to the right. McIntosh out wide to the left. Foster taking the snap. He fakes the handoff. He'll keep it around right side. He's free inside the 40. He leaves everyone. 20, 10, 5. Put an Eagle 6 on it. Touchdown, Georgia Southern. Jason Foster with the fake give to Hamilton. Comes around the right end. And once he got beyond contain, he separated like the best you'll ever see. And with 13:59 remaining, it's 6-0, Georgia Southern. Jesse Hartley will come on to attempt the point after. And Terry, you know this is very important too. Jason looked good running it. Now let's see if we can kick as Foster will hold
and
for the point after. Here's the snap, the set, the kick. It's up and it's good. 13:59 to go in the game. First possession of the season. First possession for Coach Hatcher and Jason Foster. And the Eagles up 7-0. 13:59 to play first quarter. We'll return to Paulson in just a moment. You're listening to Georgia Southern Football.
Dr. Dill and the staff of Professional Eye Care of Statesboro want you to know we're 100% committed to our community, and we're proud to announce that Dr. Dill is the Georgia Southern University's team eye doctor. Each patient we serve receives nothing less than top quality eye health care. We analyze not only your vision, but take the time to analyze the health of your eyes as well. We offer state-of-the-art vision testing and the largest selection of designer eyewear available. Our commitment to quality is always in season, caring for your vision and for our community. That's Professional Eye Care of Statesboro, 6 Lester Road, or call 764-5609.
Start the engine, step on the gas. Some people think that's all there is to driving. Others know better. They know today's complex engines work harder and run hotter. These people use Castrol GTX motor oil. It provides the maximum protection against viscosity and thermal breakdown. When you purchase a Castrol GTX oil change at Express Tune and Lube in Statesboro, you receive $5 off your next Castrol GTX oil change. So use Castrol GTX. Oil as advanced as your engine.
Welcome back to Paulson Stadium. 7-0. Georgia Southern wastes no time striking first. They lead 7-0 over the West Georgia Wolves. 2 plays, 68 yards. As Jason Foster on the quarterback keeper gets around right side, blows by everybody. That is your Badcock Furniture scoring summary. Don't forget Badcock Furniture here in Statesboro, proud supporter of Georgia Southern Athletics. So Jesse Hartley getting a lot of work here early on, the transfer kicker One kickoff, 1 point after, and now another kickoff. This one, another deep kick from the 30, 3 yards into the end zone. Farrell's going to bring it out up the middle of the field to the 10, 15. Breaks one tackle, trying to get outside, still on his feet as he's finally brought down at about the 25-yard line. And we got some late pushing and shoving down there as Henry Chubb gets in on some action with special teams. And Coach Hatcher talks about it all week, Terry, that his special teams unit, they refer to them as special forces. I mean, it's an honor to go out there and play special teams, and you're going to see some of our marquee names. If they earn the right to be a special forces, they'll be out there. And as we saw Henry Chubb laying some wood out there, the Wolves will start 1st and 10 at around their 25-yard line. Again, it'll be Keats Baldwin, the quarterback. James Kennebrew in the backfield. Jimmy Howard out wide to the left side. Patrick Higgins wide to the right now in motion, moving right to left. They'll put both receivers left side. Low snap, give it off Kennebrew, looking for daylight. Hit and drop and pulled down by a team of Eagles. Up front, Jerry Barker and Brandon Daniel plugging up that hole pretty nicely, Terry. Not a lot of room for Kennebrew.
A lot of blue around the ball, and Coach Hatcher has to be excited about that. They were all around the ball. Nobody away from it.
Plugging up the hole, plugging up where the hole, I guess, was supposed to be. Kennebrew has no hole, and Keats doesn't have a whole lot of time back there.
So they'll say on the play, giving maybe 2 yards forward motion. 2nd down and 8. Again, Baldwin and Kennebrew in that backfield so far exclusively on 5 plays. It's been out of the shotgun. This time again off to Kennebrew. Not much doing. A yard and a half. That's about it. Matt Wise on the left side of that defensive front makes a pretty good stop.
Matt Wise and Jerry Barker closing down quickly. And like Ryan had mentioned, the hole that was supposed to be there is not there because they're really doing a good job standing up the offensive linemen and able the ends to come crashing down, and the linebackers filling the hole.
3rd down and about 7 yards here from the 28-yard line of their very own. This time, Baldwin out of a gun. Kennebrew again on a wing to his right, and he's looking to throw. Here's the swing pass out to Kennebrew coming near side. Cuts back in against the grain. Up the middle of the field, up to the 40-yard line. Brandon Eccles gets him down, but it's enough for a West Georgia 1st down. That's their first moving of the sticks here early on in the first quarter of action, where Georgia Southern up 7-0 as Jason Foster on the second play from scrimmage rambles in for 6 points.
Give credit where credit's due on that one. Patrick Higgins doing a good job as the wide receiver, making that downfield block and seeing the pulling offensive guard or tackle Sean O'Sullivan as well.
So 1st down and 10 for the Wolves. They'll mark the ball at the 40-yard line of their own. It's Baldwin across the middle. Underneath, the pass is caught. Higgins has got it as he just cuts across on a drag, and he's pulled down shy of the 45-yard line by Quentin Taylor. Head hunting there in the middle of the field for the middle linebacker.
And I imagine you'll see, I imagine you'll see a lot of these short stuff, dump screens. That's a good way to take that pressure off all the defensive pressure coming up front.
Well, you hit it on the head. It helped loosen it up in front a little bit. You saw the kind of quick reaction that Quentin Taylor brings to the game.
Now a new back into the field, number 29, Yusuf Holloway for the Wolves. He'll get a chance now as he's on a wing just beside Baldwin out of a gun on 2nd down and about 7. This time Baldwin's going to keep it, trying to cut inside left tackle. Takes a pretty good shot at midfield, shy of the 1st down, and Jerry Barker leading the charge. And that's a hit Baldwin's probably not going to soon forget about.
It's not a lot of fun to be chased down by a 300-pounder.
This guy missed the entire last year. It's something to watch.
So he's shy of the 1st down by about 2 yards. We'll say a short 3, a long 2. Ball on the left hash mark. Georgia Southern fans on their feet here trying to rally the defense as Baldwin shouting instructions, having trouble hearing down there. Holloway on a wing to his left. They'll have 2 receivers out wide to the left, 2 to the right side. Looking for the quick screen. They've got it near side to Crowley. He got a good block at midfield. Spins away from a tackler inside the 40 and brought out of bounds near side at the Georgia Southern 36-yard line by Matt Wise. But some pretty nifty moves that time by James Crowley, the junior out of Ocean City, New Jersey. 6'2", 203. Got some nice move with the feet, and it gets the Wolves inside the Eagles' territory for the first time on the afternoon, and it gives them another 1st down, fresh set of downs, trailing 7-0 here with 10:39 to go in the first quarter. Ball on the right hash mark again. Baldwin and Holloway in that offensive backfield. 2 wide to the left side, 2 to the right. Long snap count again as Baldwin gives it off Holloway. Cuts it around right side, has a little bit of room, but finally forced out. Quentin Taylor covering the field, Terry. kind of what we needed in that linebacker spot, losing the great group of linebackers led by John Moring a year ago. But Quentin Taylor showing his speed to get out to the corner. Otherwise, Holloway trying to turn the corner himself and cut up down the sideline.
Exactly. Moring going from sideline to sideline, having a linebacker that can do this. And exactly what Ryan talked about earlier, that quick pass opening up the running game for him a little bit.
Ball now again on the right hash as they attack left to right. Second down and a long one, maybe 2 yards here for Baldwin with two receivers out wide to the left. Holloway again staying in there. Just a quick screen, pass out to the left side. Catch is made. Trying to get a first down with extra effort, and Ron Dixon looks like he may have got it as Henry Chubb fought to try to get him down before he crossed that first line.
And Terry, you made a good point earlier about the blocking the receivers core out here. That's something I've been very impressed with West Georgia. The receiving core that can block, especially on these short passes, screens, and dumps.
Covington showing the presence of mind not to try to complete that tackle as he had grabbed him around the head and could have easily drawn a flag for a face mask. So Covington doing the smart thing and letting go.
So it will be first down and 10 from the left hash mark as again the Wolves working left to right as Baldwin looks all the way to the far corner of the end zone. It's a jump ball up in the air. Is it caught? It's incomplete. A couple of guys had a chance to make a play. Steve Ballou able to make a play on it, and Henry Chubb made a play on it, and luckily Chubb interfered with the football enough that Ballou was unable, or rather Steve Ballou changed his number this week. He was number 88. I guess he's number 3 today. But nonetheless, he had a chance on it coming down, Ryan, and luckily it falls harmless.
Can't play that any better. Chubb played that absolutely to perfection. Go to the height of the ball.
Let it fall harmlessly to the carpet. Second down and 10. Again, marked at the 22-yard line of the Eagles. Georgia Southern up 7-0. Fake handoff. They'll throw the quick pass far side. It's caught down at the 17 by Jimmy Howard before he's hauled out of bounds by Brandon Jackson. But again, you see what their game plan is. They're going to use these good receivers not only to block downfield, as Ryan mentioned, but make those quick passes. And that time they use the running back as the decoy. And pretty good arm by Baldwin that time to rip that pass over there in time. Sets up third down and 4 here for the Wolves inside the red zone against the Georgia Southern defense as James Kennebrew will check back in the tailback slot along with the quarterback Keats Baldwin. Third down and about 5. It's Howard in motion left to right. They'll fake the handoff, and now Baldwin runs by himself to the first down marker inside the 15 to the 13-yard line as Brandon Jackson forces him out of bounds. But a nice play call by the West Georgia Wolves.
Very good play call by the Wolves on that one. As we talked about pursuit before the game started with this defense. The attacking style it was. Brandon Jackson riding him out of bounds. We're seeing a defense now. You would think that we may be getting a little tired with this no huddle, but we have some depth, and that's helping us rotate a lot of people in and out.
First down and 10 inside the 15 of the Eagles as Howard out wide to the left, Higgins wide to the right. They're going to give it off to Kennebrew right up the gut, found a hole inside the 5, and finally a team of Eagles getting down at the 4-yard line as Chris Covington coming up along with Joey Tuttle from the front line to try to keep Kennebrew, who got shot down the middle of that defensive line and was headed for pay dirt, but he'll be stopped, and it'll be second down and about 2 for another first down, but they're only about 4 yards away from pay dirt.
This West Georgia offense getting a little confidence as they're coming in with a different running attack and with passing as well. And changing up a little bit, a little different looks for the Wolves, giving the Eagles something to think about.
Kennebrew in that offensive backfield along with the quarterback Keats Baldwin. It's off to Kennebrew. He's nearly untouched, and he's into the end zone, and the Wolves are 1 point from tying this up, 7-6 with 9:04 to go in the first quarter. So Coach Mike Ledford and company answer back after the Eagles wasted no time getting on the board. But credit a good game plan that time. Good play calling, using the pass, using the run, using the quarterback.
And misdirection as well. A lot of misdirection.
Jared Guberman will be on for the point after. He is an excellent field goal specialist. Here's the snap, the set, the kick gets up. And it's through, and we've got a tie ball game. 9:04 remaining, first quarter. Georgia Southern 7, West Georgia 7. We'll return to Paulson Stadium in just a moment. This is the Georgia Southern Radio Network.
Hi, Eagle fans. This is Chris Blair, inviting you to join Coach Hatcher and I beginning this coming Thursday for Inside Georgia Southern Football live from Loco's Grill and Pub at 7 o'clock. Everyone knows Loco's is Statesboro's gathering place any night of the week for great food, great friends, and football. So we'll see you this Thursday with Coach Hatcher at 7 p.m. And remember, for great food, great friends, and Georgia Southern Football, you know, let's all go to Loco's.
Today we salute you, Mr. Unathletic Sports Talk Radio guy. You know everything there is to know about the world of sports, except how to play them.
No coordination.
You talk sports for 8 hours a day, which is 7 hours and 45 minutes more than anyone listens.
Is anybody out there?
So crack open an ice cold Bud Light, Mr. Unathletic supporter.
Mr. Unathletic Sports Talk Radio
Bud Light beer,
guy.
Anheuser-Busch, Cartersville, Georgia.
Georgia Southern Football presented in part by the University Store, your one-stop shop for all things Southern, for game gear for the entire family and items for your car, home, office, and more. Visit the University Store's on-campus location, game day at Paulson, or online anytime at GSUstore.com. Well, the excitement started early here for Georgia Southern fans at Paulson Stadium. We're tied up 7-7 as the Wolves march right down the field with an excellent playbook. A little bit of pass, a lot of misdirection, and Kennebrew gets it in from the 4-yard line. Guberman with the point after ties things up as Guberman will handle all kicking duties, puts it on the 30, and just a high pooch kick fielded by an up back at the 29-yard line, and that's where the Eagles take over. Dusty Reddick, and again another member of the Hatcher Special Forces out there on special teams.
And a good job by doing a fair catch there. Don't risk it. You're facing into the sun. Why risk it? Just take the ball where it lies at the 29-yard line. Leave it in the hands of your offense with Foster, or we might even see Clark.
You know, guys, I said earlier about Coach Hatcher when he came out on the field, it was just nice to see. We talked about all the new personnel and all the excitement. He had that smile on his face. It's like he's really enjoying this.
Offense on the field, Jason Foster again, who's already gotten into the end zone on the legs. He's got Lamar Lewis, who checks in for the first time in the afternoon in the offensive backfield. Quick pass, this one over the head and through the hands of McIntosh, near side on the quick wide receiver screen. Incomplete, sets up 2nd down and 10 at the Georgia Southern 28-yard line. Gary Hodges in pursuit, the senior out of Columbus, Missouri.
Building confidence in the offense from West Georgia, but what that also does is could translate over to the defense. They come out here with a 3-4 defense, and maybe they'll, in their mind, they'll be able to get some pressure on the Eagles.
Sean Gray will check in as the halfback, so now it's Lewis and Gray in the backfield along with Foster working out of a gun on 2nd down and 10 from the 28 before the snap whistles, and we may have movement. We'll check and see with our officiating crew. Again, very experienced crew. Very familiar to Paulson Stadium with referee Ed Rhodes, and it looks like this one may go against the Eagles.
Part of snap. 66. 5-yard penalty. Suck it down.
Marcella Estrada called for getting antsy up front.
Got a little excited.
So that backs the Eagles up here. 2nd down and about 16. After the infraction, 2nd down at 15 is where they mark it. Now another jump and another whistle will stop play. And this, I believe, if as perceived, nope, looks like the Eagles think it might have been West Georgia.
Yeah, I think it's going the other way.
I'd like to have that 5 yards back, Ryan, but I'd also like to have is that play with Irving Campbell going right up the middle untouched.
I was about to say, if that one was going against Georgia Southern, we may see the
illegal snap.
Oh.
Georgia's 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
So it does go against the Eagles. So look for the visor for Coach Chris Hatcher to get a little loose up there, and he may decide to toss that baby if his team's not able to correct these mistakes.
Collected. He's staying calm and collected.
3rd down and 20 backs them up now to their very own 18-yard line. Mike Hamilton checking in out wide with Campbell. And here's Foster, design run on the keeper up the middle, gets to the 25-yard line.
Not a bad play, moves the ball forward, gives you an opportunity, brings up 3rd down and 14 for Southern. I was talking about when they called that penalty earlier, Campbell went right up the hash mark. And I think they had a little special attention on him this time.
They'll mark the ball just left of the 25-yard line. Looks like it'll be third down and a short 14, long 13 here as they work from the left hash mark. Lamar Lewis in the backfield on the left hip of Jason Foster, working out of a shotgun. Snap is back. Foster steps, fires. This one caught momentarily, then bobbled and incomplete at the 30-yard line as Joe Haney just couldn't get a grip on it on that far side. And the sad thing is, Terry, he had a lot of daylight in front of him. He had a step on the middle linebacker, Joshua Mitchell, and had he caught it cleanly, he's off to the races, and I think at least the first down.
At least the first down, a little short pass, a little dump right over the line of scrimmage right there to him. He was just running before he could catch it. We're very fortunate on that one. They didn't pop it up in the air enough for it to be intercepted.
Dan Jordan, another bright spot from the special teams unit from a year ago. And before he can get set, flags all over the field. Everybody in black and white stripes getting in on the act on this one.
We could have 12.
A lot of white jerseys.
I think that's it. Interesting to see how much of this offense so far has revolved around Jason Foster.
Illegal substitution. Put in the formation by the defense. 5-yard penalty. Still fourth down.
So the Eagles will get to move it up slightly for Jordan, who, as I mentioned, was a bright spot last year. Averaging right around 42 yards a punt. He'll stand back at the 16-yard line. Back deep is Daniel Johnson for the Wolves. Snap is back. Wolves come after it. Jordan gets it away. Goes to the far side. Takes a great Georgia Southern bounce at the 30. Inside the 20. Rolling down to about the 12-yard line. And that's where it'll be down. So Dan Jordan, maybe not the prettiest punch you'll see in the air, but got the nice kick off the bounce. And it puts the Wolves back as the Eagles unable to get things going on their second drive. And that one, Ryan, we can chalk that up to penalties.
Standing on his own 20, though, not bad for Mr. Jordan.
Hey, we'll take a roll anytime. It doesn't say that on the stats there, Ryan.
We know you keep up with it.
At the end of the day, it's still a great punt.
7-7 your score.
Terry writes his stats on his arm.
8:02 to go here in the first quarter as Keats Baldwin brings out the Wolves offense one more time. Had a very effective drive last time out. Kennebrew on a wing to his left as they work from the left hash mark. 2 wide to the left, 1 wide receiver out here to the right side. Here's the snap. They try to get on quickly, and they bring Kennebrew down in the backfield, down around the 9. Maybe got back to the 10, but no less a 2-yard loss. Looked like E.J. Webb really got free right up the middle of the line, and Terry looked like nobody on the offensive front able to get a hand on him.
They weren't able to. Jerry Barker and Daniel did a great job of standing up their linemen. It enabled Webb to sneak in there and just really level him at the line of scrimmage and cost him a yard loss.
So they'll mark it second down and maybe 12 here, right at the 10-yard line. They'll spread the field out with receivers to each side. Baldwin, quick screen. It's going to be deflected and incomplete. Looking for Patrick Higgins. Matt Wise got his big paw up there to deflect the pass as he was making a beeline for the Wolves QB, Keats Baldwin. That'll set up third down and 12 here. And the Eagle defense trying to make a statement after the Wolves able to march down against them and put some holes in their armor on their way to that score. Tied up 7-7, 7:24 to go here in the first quarter, opening game of the 2007 season. Big third down and 12 here. They'll stick Kennebrew back in there. Baldwin, your QB, out of a gun. 1 receiver left side, 3 to the right as he set up trips. Looked at the defense and calls for time. We'll take a timeout as well. Big third down and 12 on the way for the Wolves. We're tied up 7 apiece here at the prettiest little stadium in America. You're listening to Georgia Southern Football.
Larry Munson for the French Quarter Cafe in Statesboro. Dog fans and all fans are gathering at the French Quarter Cafe in downtown Statesboro's Gaslight Cross.
A zero-turn radius riding diesel engine mower, HST transmission with pro commercial mower decks, and less than $130 a month. That's right, friends. At Kubota Statesboro, you can get a ZV300 series Kubota mower for less than $130 a month. Zero-turn radius, Kubota diesel engine, HST transmission, doesn't break down, just cuts grass and knocks your grass cutting time down to nothing. For less than $130 a month, go check them out. The ZD300 series at Kubota Statesboro, Highway 67 South.
Back at Paulson Stadium, 7:24 to go here in the first quarter, tied up 7 apiece. As the Wolves call timeout, looking at 3rd and 12 at their own 8-yard line here. Coming up, we'll tell you about a very special ceremony that took place prior to kickoff here, honoring legendary coach, legendary college football figure, Erk Russell. We'll get to that after this big 3rd down as Georgia Southern wants to come after Keats Baldwin. He spreads trips to the right side. One receiver out wide to the left. And we got a man for the Wolves listening to someone else's snap count. Daniel Johnson takes off.
Wide open, wasn't he?
The snapper, the center, still had the ball, wasn't even ready to go yet, but Johnson, unfortunately, trying to get a little head start that time. Is going to back the Wolves right near their own goal line here and set up 3rd down and a mile.
I'm not so sure Brandon Eccles didn't help with that play right there, as well as Ronnie Wiggins. As Wiggins stepped up to the line of scrimmage, left his man uncovered as though he was going to blitz, which left a wide receiver open. I think he just got overly excited and decided to take off.
3rd down and 17. As Baldwin will stand right at inside his goal line. Kennebrew on a wing to his right. He's going to throw across the middle. Catch is made by Higgins. Got some daylight cutting across to the far sideline. Now he's piled on and pulled down at the 16. Henry Chubb, Dietrich Bynum combining for the stop. Well shy of the 1st down. Punting situation coming up for the Wolves.
It's a nice crossing pattern by West Georgia on that one. The Eagles doing a very good job of pursuit. And we teased about Dietrich Bynum being a headhunter. He literally was in that case. Fortunately, we didn't get a penalty. Brings up a good 4th down after a great defensive stop.
Everyone wanted to know if Jason Foster was going to be the quarterback, receive the punts, sell popcorn, hand out programs. He's out there to take the punt. Pressure comes and it's blocked at the 5. Guberman dives on it at the 4, but the Eagles will have it 1st and goal at the 4-yard line. Tim Camp comes in, gets a hand on it, and special teams, those special forces, set up the Eagles in fine fashion with 6:48 to go here in the first quarter.
Special teams, Ryan. We talked about the hatch attack being on all facets of the ball game. I think we just saw it.
That's a big play from a big playmaker right there.
So the Wolves now, after putting one impressive offensive drive together, finds themselves in a little bit of trouble here after the punt is blocked. The offense rolls out on the field. Jason Foster inside the 5, shall I say, a tad bit dangerous. Dusty Reddick, Mike Hamilton also in the offset eye. Andrews out wide to the right. McIntosh wide to the left side. Here's the snap. Foster gives it off. Hamilton, right tackle, works his way down to about the 2-yard line before he stopped the entire front line. Wheeling, Benjamin, and Hinsey all in on the action. They said the ball came loose. Let's wait and see. West Georgia says they have it, but the officials are going to keep it Georgia Southern way as they try to unfurl the pile. The Wolves still lobbying, saying they have the football. Hamilton's out there saying, no, I was down. Let's line up and go for 2nd and goal.
We talked about the offensive linemen as well. You know, Coach Hatcher and his crew have been very impressed with this offensive line as they inherited this program back in the spring practice. And we see a front 5 there who's doing a solid job for us. You see Hamilton get right behind tackle and just try to pick up as many yards as he can.
2nd down and goal from the 3-yard line of the Wolves. Foster and Hamilton now on a wing to his right as Jason will move back, work out of a shotgun. Andrews out wide to the right. McIntosh wide to the left. Foster wants to go around right in. They key in on him and bring him down right at the line of scrimmage. Gary Hodges trying to keep a check on where Jason is. It'll set up 3rd down and goal from the 3-yard line.
Brandon Wheeling for West Georgia doing a good job of penetrating our offensive line and not enabling Foster to cut up like he wanted to.
And Germany's actually almost playing like a spy coming up from that safety. You see him kind of move and anticipate kind of the footwork of Jason Foster immediately after the snap.
Travis Clark will check in. His first time at quarterback. Coach Hatcher told us all week, don't be surprised to see 2 quarterbacks. Even hinted you may see 3. As Clark gets set in the gun, he'll call for time with 5:28 to go in the first quarter, tied up 7-7. 3rd down and goal at the 3-yard line for the Eagles. They want to talk about it. We'll take a timeout, step aside. We'll turn to Paulson Stadium in just a moment. This is the Georgia Southern Radio Network.
You've sacrificed, you've sweated, you've bled. You made it through 2-a-days in the Georgia heat. Now, when you take that field, you remember this. You are the toughest thing on this planet.
Tougher than a Ford F-150, Coach?
Well, no, son. No one's as tough as an F-150. F-150 has best-in-class towing and payload. Your neighborhood Ford dealer can tell you more. Now get out there and let's get them.
Our hometown.
The Farm Bureau insurance companies are among the most respected providers of home insurance in the nation, and we're located right here in your community. For more than half a century, we've covered American homes with dependable protection, and we back it with fast, fair claim service. Call today for a free, no-obligation review of your home insurance needs.
Paulson Stadium, 3rd down and goal from the 4-yard line. Clark out of the shotgun, stands in the pocket, has all day, fires, and this one is incomplete. Looking for Irvin Campbell just inside the right corner of the end zone. Gary Hodges was smothering him on coverage, may have gotten a piece of that across the way. But that'll set up 4th down and goal from the 4, and it looks like Jesse Hartley will have a chance to come in and maybe sew up those field goal woes from a year ago. He's already got 1 point after good today. This one's going to be about a 20-yard attempt from the right hash mark. Not a tough angle. Wind's kind of behind him, whipping to his back. So the 20-yard attempt is on its way, and it's good. So the Eagles take the lead, 10-7, able to make hay of the big block punt by the Wolves. They didn't get 7, but they'll take 3 and take the lead 10-7. We'll return to Paulson Stadium in just a moment. Your score, Georgia Southern 10, West Georgia 7. You're listening to Georgia Southern Football.
Walker Pharmacy, your one-stop shopping for everything you need. With 23 years of service to Bullitt County, our pharmacists are here to assist you face-to-face. With 3 locations to serve you and the best staff in town at 202 Northside Drive West, 100 Brampton Avenue next to East Georgia Regional Medical Center, and in Brooklet. Our hours are 8:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday and 9 to 5 on Saturdays. Choose from our free delivery service available within a 10-mile radius or our convenient drive-through. Walker Pharmacy, your one-stop shopping for everything you need.
The Sur Shop is your place for the best seasonal fashion, quality, and variety for your school needs. Drop by and pick up your North Face book bags, Costa Del Mar sunglasses, and rainbow flip-flops. The Sur Shop carries a variety of Southern Tide ties and shirts, along with a variety of collegiate wear. New arrivals for Denali jackets are also due in September. Welcome back, students. Quality, fashion, variety. The Sur Shop in the Statesboro Mall and in the Main Street Village. 764-6924. That's 764-6924.
Hartley converts on the 20-yard field goal, gives the Eagles the lead 10-7 on 4 plays. That's the Badcock Furniture scoring recap as the Eagles now lead 10-7 as Johnson fields at the 2-yard line up the middle of the field, now cuts it outside, caught from behind, spun and dropped down at around the 17-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Wolves, who trail by 3 as Tim Camp in on the headhunting on special teams unit.
That's the kind of kickoffs that a lot of coaches actually prefer than kicking it 2 and 3 yard deep on a line drive kick. What Hartley was able to do was hang it up good to about the 4-yard line. You see where we stopped him. We got down to the 18-yard line. Now they're starting the 18 versus the 20, and it gives you the opportunity for some special things to happen on special teams.
Well, the defense completely shut down the Wolves' offense the last time out, resulting in a block punt deep inside their own territory. Howard and Ballou wide to each side. Baldwin, the QB, with Kennebrew on a wing to his left. 1st down and 10 from the 17. Steps up, fires across the middle. This one's caught and pulled down at the 33. They'll say, was it picked off? Georgia Southern says they have the football. Chris Covington in on coverage.
Covington,
incomplete.
He came in, and they're going to say that the ground caused the fumble. And in fact, I think that they got this one right.
So it won't be popular here at Paulson, but a bang-bang play is Covington working that time defensively. The ball popped loose. The Eagles said they had it, but as you heard, Ryan there with the eyes on the field. Official say the ball caused the ball to come loose. Jimmy Howard out wide to the left. Steve Ballou Ron Dixon wide to the right. It's Baldwin now with first down and 10. The ball placed up around the 36-yard line. Baldwin going to keep, smothered, and dropped at the 35. Jerry Barker. I don't know if Jerry got his hands on him. I think his shoulder blade put Baldwin on his back.
I think you're right on that.
You're exactly right.
Barker pushed that whole left side of the line all the way back, and I think he could have just done anything and knocked him over on that play. You talked about Covington on that previous play, kind of riding his back there, reaching over like you would sometimes as a basketball player down low. So, good play. Just need to make the play before he catches it.
Ballou and Crowley wide to the left. Howard and Dixon wide to the right is Baldwin. And Kennebrew in the offensive backfield. Second down and 12 from the 35. Pressure coming. Looking. Far side. Pass over the head and incomplete at the 40. And we might get a late hit here. And it looks like Henry Chubb may be called for it after the ball was incomplete. Chubb, I don't know if he could have stopped his momentum, but they did have a collision there, and then the flag came in. We'll wait and see. We'll go to our referee as they'll talk it over here.
It was a late hit, but that's okay. You see where he threw the flag at, Ryan? It was more towards the hash mark.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I was going to let the officials do the talking for once, but I was going to say that might be coming the other way.
They're explaining it to the sidelines here. We'll wait as they explain it to the defensive captains down there. Explain the scenario here. 3:57 to go first quarter. 10-7. Eagles lead.
Pass interference. Offense. Number 9. Penalties refused.
So it's offensive pass interference. The Eagles with a big play. The Wolves will have to play third down as the Eagles defense asking for fans to get on their feet and make some noise here with 3:57 to go, and they're up by 3, 10-7. They'll move the ball over to the right hash mark. It's placed at the 36-yard line of the Wolves. Baldwin and Kennebrew in the backfield. They'll send trips to the right side. One lone receiver out wide to the left, and Jimmy Howard. Now they'll send Dixon in motion right to left, so they'll even it out. 2 receivers each side. Pressure comes. Nowhere to go for Baldwin. Dropped at the 25-yard line. Dakota Walker leading the charge. A 6'3", 237-pound junior out of Mays Landing, New Jersey. The transfer from South Carolina puts a clamp on the Wolves' offensive drive there. 4th down and forever, and they'll be punting this away.
Dakota Walker coming hard from the outside, putting the pressure on the quarterback, not even having a chance to get rid of it, Ryan.
No, he didn't. You could credit that sack about 4 or 5 Eagles.
So Guberman this time will stand at his 12-yard line. The Eagles may come after it again after they found some holes last time out. Covington late coming onto the field, and I believe a timeout was taken by Jason. So
Smart
Foster,
play.
smart play, heads-up play by the senior, calls for the timeout. 3:18 to go in the game. Wolves will punt it when we return to Paulson Stadium. 10-7 your score. This is the Georgia Southern Radio Network.
What's this world coming to when young ones use internet social sites to meet people? Internet social sites? Listen, son, introduce yourself in person. That's what the 2007 Toyota Tundra would do, and its available 381-horse 5.7-liter V8 and massive torque would make a great first impression. Visit your local Toyota dealer in person to see the 2007 Tundra. Toyota, we didn't redesign the Tundra, we redesigned the truck. Moving trucks forward.
It's that time of year for Eagle football, and fans, you can show your Eagle pride each and every day with one visit to the University Store, your one-stop shop for all things Southern. A great selection of game gear from Nike, Under Armour, Ashworth, Cutter & Buck, just to name a few. Everything for your home, car, office, mom, dad, and the Little Eagles. Don't forget game day parking at their campus location with a shuttle to Paulson Stadium. The University Store. Visit their on-campus location, game day store at Paulson, and online anytime at gsustore.com. The University Store, your one-stop shop for all things Southern.
Down at 22. Guberman will punt it away. Almost blocked, but he gets it through. Foster coming near side, fields it at his own 33-yard line. He'll move up the field, find a hole, just dancing and jiving up to the 45 and to midfield and gets into Wolves territory at about the West Georgia 49-yard line. And great field position for Georgia Southern. And after Terry, the defense maybe had a little lapse there, let West Georgia march down the field. Well, they have come out to make a statement. Defensive coordinator Ashley Anders, I imagine, probably fired up the crew after that scoring drive.
I would think so. Anders has done a good job in his past at Valdosta Stadium. A very strong defense as well. Bringing that here to Georgia Southern with the talent that we have and with the influx of the transfers, obviously he's got a lot to work with.
First down and 10 at the Wolves' 49-yard line. Ball on the left hash mark. Jason Foster, your QB. Lamar Lewis on a wing to his right. Too wide to the left side. Rajah Andrews out wide to the right. Here's the snap. Gives it off. It's going to be Lewis. He's tripped up end over end. The ball did cause, or the field calls the ball to come loose. The Wolves try to jump on it, but no question about it. Lewis went airborne after being hit in the lower leg. Kind of a helicopter move, and comes down at about the Wolf 45-yard line. Giving 4 yards on the pickup. Second down and 6.
We might have to give Estrada credit for that tackle on that with the offensive lineman there for the Eagles.
Second down and 6 for Georgia Southern, wasting no time. Foster out of a gun. Reddick, or Sean Gray rather, and Lewis. Lewis gets the carry, going left to right, finds it, turns it upfield, far side, inside the 35 to the 30, and pulled down at about the 27-yard line by Michael Reardon. And Lewis, with a good carry, picks up another Georgia Southern first down with 2:24 to go here in the first quarter. 10-7, Georgia Southern up over the Wolves.
I think that may be Lamar Lewis letting the coaches know that he wants to play still. You see that burst of speed that we saw some of last year as well.
Jason Foster back at QB. Sean Gray, Lamar Lewis in the backfield. Lewis going to get another carry. Try to come left side. This time the Wolves, Michael Reardon, able to track him down along with Steve Sinatus. Working on that right side of the defensive line. Maybe got back to the line of scrimmage. Second down and 10 as they simply move from the right hash mark to the left as the Eagles work right to left on your radio dial. Under 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Jason Foster on the second play from scrimmage. After forcing a 3-and-out by the Wolves, rips off a 40-plus yard touchdown run. Here's the snap back on second and 10. Foster got a flag coming out as he gets inside the 20, down to the 15, and pulled down at about the 13-yard line. But a flag coming out from our referee early on that play. And this one probably going to come back for Georgia Southern. But again, gentlemen, when you watch Jason Foster run the ball, 5'9", 164 pounds, and it's hard to put a hit on him when you can't catch him.
It's hard to put a hit on him when you can't catch him. That's correct. And that's what makes, and then you throw the speed in the mix. But unfortunately, you see a great play like that. We saw some of this last year, and it's early in the year. You're going to expect some of this. A holding call is going to bring it back. We saw a hiccup on special teams once before. So like I mentioned, at the beginning of the year, you're going to have some of that.
Holding. Offense number 87. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Repeat, second down.
So it'll be second down for the Eagles and about the 35-yard line of their own. So Foster back in the shotgun with Gray and Hamilton. One back to each side as Foster now will step up, decides to tuck it and run. Then finally the Wolves get him. The ball's loose. Looked like the Eagles may have had it at the 34, or maybe Ty Morrell, and it will be Ty Morrell, the rover back, who's able to jump on the football, bang it loose, and the Wolves come away with a turnover here with 1:19 to play in the first quarter. 10-7, Eagles up by 3.
We talk about the offensive prowess of Jason Foster, ability to make moves. That time he was just trying to make something really when he had nothing. He had 2 or 3 Wolves hanging all over him, and that last spin trying to go back toward home sidelines got him.
Yeah, he made that spin, a blind spin, and right into Ty Morrell, and the ball comes loose. So the Wolves try to get some life back here as Baldwin and company set up shop first and 10, working at their own 35-yard line. Kennebrew again out for a couple of plays, but so far he's been the main featured back. Here's a throw across the middle, wide open receiver at midfield. Patrick Higgins got a lot of daylight, got a blocker in front of him. Comes to the near side and finally spun out of bounds at the 21 of the Eagles by Brandon Jackson. But a big hitting play, gentlemen, and wide open across the middle of that field.
He made the cut. Covington put a hit on him, let him go across, thinking that somebody was going to step up and pick up coverage, and they weren't there. Once Covington saw it, he ran chasing after him, but a little bit too late. Good pass and catch right there.
Changes momentum, to say the very least, as Baldwin on the first down and 10 from the 20 hands it off to Kennebrew. Looks to go around outside, then cuts it back in against the tackles and dives to the 15-yard line as T.J. Watkins able to finally pin him down. Under a minute to play first quarter, 53 seconds and counting. Eagles lead by 3, 10-7 in the opening game of the 2007 campaign. Personnel changing coming in for the Wolves. As Baldwin now will line his troops up. Waits the snap from Adam Dagler. Big guy up front takes a huge breath. Now the snap. Baldwin going to give it off. Running on the reverse. Howard trying to go left side and finally stopped at about the 11-yard line. He had to run a mile, though, before he could ever begin to think of cutting it upfield. But the Eagles there with plenty of speed on the right corner of that defensive front to make the stop with 13 seconds to go here in the first quarter. It may be the final play of the first quarter of action. Looks like the Wolves are ready to get back and huddle up. Switch sides of the field. Score 10-7. And we finish the first quarter of action. We'll take a timeout. We'll return to Paulson Stadium in just a moment. At the end of one quarter of play, Georgia Southern up by a field goal, 10-7. You're listening to Georgia Southern Football.
Listening, learning, building relationships one customer at a time. This is what makes Sea Island Bank different.
We're building long-lasting relationships by helping our customers realize their dreams. I'm Brad Sheffield, and I work closely with business owners throughout Bullitt County. Our customers say we treat them like family, and we really do. After all, our success is measured by the success of people who bank with us.
This is what relationship banking is all about. Discover the difference today at Sea Island Bank. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Dr. Dill and the staff of Professional Eye Care of Statesboro want you to know we're 100% committed to our community, and we're proud to announce that Dr. Dill is the Georgia Southern University's team eye doctor. Each patient we serve receives nothing less than top quality eye health care. We analyze not only your vision, but take the time to analyze the health of your eyes as well. We offer state-of-the-art vision testing and the largest selection of designer eyewear available. Our commitment to quality is always in season, caring for your vision and for our community. That's Professional Eye Care of Statesboro, 6 Lester Road, or call 764-5609.
Welcome back, everyone, to Paulson Stadium. Beginning of the second quarter of action. Eagles up by 3, 10-7 over the West Georgia Wolves. But a big play off the arm of Keats Baldwin to Patrick Higgins. Gets it deep inside Georgia Southern territory. The Eagles going to have to now find the defensive answer inside the red zone. We're waiting to get back started here.
According to the sticks, you don't have to go very far. That's an inch and a half.
So third down and short. That ball placed right around between the 11 and 10-yard line of the Eagles. Working from the left hash is Baldwin and Kennebrew. Kennebrew on the right side of Baldwin here as they switch sides of the field, and the Wolves now work right to left. Baldwin taking his time, plenty on the play clock, down now to 9 as he still barks instructions on third and short from the 11. They give it off. Kennebrew left side, got enough for the first down, diving down to about the 6-yard line as Larry Beard able to get him down there, but you can tell Terry Kennebrew just wanted to get that first down. Once he got it, he just dove to the turf.
He literally dove underneath Damon Suggs right there. Damon Suggs is a big guy. He's 270 pounds. Taking a look at Kennebrew. Kennebrew literally just dove almost between his legs to get that first down. West Georgia knocking at the door, not willing to give up.
First down and goal. This one marked at the 7-yard line as Higgins and Crowley out wide to the right. They'll use the swing pass. Kennebrew covered up and smothered and dropped at the line of scrimmage. Chris Covington making up for his defensive team's kind of miscue on a busted play to set up the Wolves. That time showing his speed that we saw last year in the tailback position, chasing down Kennebrew, and James had nowhere to go. Now Holloway will check in. 5'8", 195 pounds out of Lawrenceville, Georgia, as Kennebrew will step off and take a breather. They'll swing it over to the right hash mark. Second down, goal to goal. Again, we'll say it's down at the 7-yard line as the Wolves work in the shadow here of Bishop Fieldhouse. Keats Baldwin out of the gun, takes a snap across the middle, and that one incomplete. Howard coming up saying he was pushed from behind, but that one hit him in the hands. Looked like stone hands that time as Larry Beard right up on him.
Larry Beard backing off the line of scrimmage as we had a blitz by our linebacker up the gut. Little good, nice defensive call by Anderson.
Badcock Furniture scoring recap here in that first quarter of action. Georgia Southern got on the board first. Jason Foster on a 54-yard run. Hartley with a point after to make it 7-0. West Georgia answered by James Kennebrews' 4-yard run. Point after good. And then Jesse Hartley had a 21-yard field goal to give the Eagles the edge 10-7. That's your Badcock Furniture scoring recap. Here's a pass in the end zone. It's caught. Touchdown, West Georgia. Daniel Johnson, 2 steps deep into that end zone, takes the pass from Baldwin, and West Georgia's up 13-10 with 13:58 to go here in the first half of action, and the small contingency of red and blue across the way making a little bit of noise as the West Georgia Wolves once again show a good mix. And Keats Baldwin playing well at QB as Guberman on for the point after. Snap is down, kick is up, this one's good, and the Wolves lead 14-10.
He was able to get off the line of scrimmage easily on that out pattern as we had Ronnie Wiggins come in with a blitz. Enabled the guy to just literally get off, a little quick pass, great catch as he was falling across the line of scrimmage. So, hey, good play calling by West Georgia here.
So much has been made of how much Coach Hatcher knows of this program. Let's look at it the other way. This program knows a lot about Coach Hatcher and his play calling, and so far, the play calling on the West Georgia side has been pretty good. They've been able to find the seams, the creases, the soft spots of the defense, if you will, and just got to kind of tip your cap right now, but a lot of football to play.
Unofficially right now on the ground, Georgia Southern 85 yards as a team. That on about 9 carries for West Georgia. 13 carries, just 33 yards, but through the air, I told you Keith Baldwin doing a pretty good job. 13 completions for 33, or rather 119 yards on 8 of 13 passing. So far, Georgia Southern 1 of 4 for 13 yards. That's a look at these stats so far in the first half as Guberman will put it up on the tee at the 30-yard line with 13:58 to go. 14-10, West Georgia leading over Georgia Southern.
Ryan, you mentioned how much Coach Hatcher and the staff may have known about West Georgia. And you're right, they know a lot about him as well. I'd venture to say they probably know more about him. We talked about in the pregame that West Georgia, after last season, has a new offensive coordinator and a new defensive coordinator. So some schemes that this coaching staff has not seen yet. It'll be interesting to see how we're able to make adjustments and start taking advantage of what we see up here in the press box.
So Guberman puts it up on the tee. Back deep for the Eagles, Lamar Lewis and Rajah Andrews. 13:58 to go. Guberman with the approach. This one again, high and short. Andrews, though, will come up to field it at the 23-yard line, get to the middle of the field, takes a tough shot at the 34 by Ray Mitchell. Andrews able to secure the football and hopefully his mouthpiece after a pretty good hit by Mitchell. With 13:44 to go here in the first half, the Wolves now lead for the first time of the afternoon, 14-10. Fans, portions of Georgia Southern football proudly presented by your Southeast Toyota dealers. Toyota moving you forward. Check out the all-new redesigned Toyota Tundra on display here at Paulson Stadium, just beside Bishop Fieldhouse.
Dusty Reddick back in the ballgame. We've seen a lot of Sean Gray.
It'll be Jason Foster at QB, Reddick and Hamilton now. Hamilton been quiet thus far. 2 receivers out wide to the left, 1 to the right side. Now they'll put Reddick in motion, lining up as a slot back off to Hamilton. Coming near side, battling his way up near the 40-yard line. Ray Mitchell with the stop. About a 6-yard gain off the legs of Mike Hamilton, the transfer out of Oklahoma State.
Takes a handoff around the right side. You mentioned Dusty Reddick. Follows Dusty Reddick right off tackle.
One of the things about Hamilton and Lewis that's so nice is the different styles of running, as once again Hamilton will get the carry. Coming near side, but he's covered up and smothered quickly and brought down after just maybe getting back to the line of scrimmage. Not much after that. As the Wolves doing a good job of sniffing out that run by Hamilton. As it'll set up 3rd down and about 6 coming up. But Hamilton more of a bruising north-south back, where Lamar Lewis a little more finesse, a little more nifty moves. Right now they need something to keep this drive alive as Foster out of a gun. Hamilton on a wing to his right. They'll send trips left side. Here's the option. Gets it to Hamilton on the quick pitch. He's hit, bounced around like a pinball, and finally planted at the 40-yard line. Back to that original line of scrimmage by Brandon Whelan. It'll be 4th down and about 4, and well shy of the first down. We'll see if Coach Hatcher shows a little gambler with 12:26 to go and trailing by 4. And no, after standing there for a moment, the offense will come out, and Dan Jordan will head onto the field. He'll punt this away, standing at about his own 25-yard line as Daniel Johnson rushes out for the Wolves. So that time they try to feature Mike Hamilton, get him into the flow of the offense, but credit the Wolves defense, good speed and hard-nosed tackling. Eventually force a punt by the Eagles as Jordan puts it in the air. End over end, takes a West Georgia bounce at about the 22 and up to the 23 before it's down there. That's where West Georgia takes over with the lead by 4, 14-10 at the 23-yard line of their very own. And Terry, as we mentioned, a very special ceremony just before kickoff, just before the Eagles made their way onto the field. A beautiful bust, a replica bust of legendary coach Erk Russell there, and I know it's something that fans will enjoy, and really just a beautiful sentiment to the man who is considered, without any question, unanimous vote, the father of Georgia Southern football.
Yes, he was, and it's a very honor indeed to see everything going on. We'll talk more about that in just a minute.
The first down and 10 play from the 23-yard line from the Wolves. Kennebrew back in. They look to show a reverse. They'll fake it, give it off to Kennebrew up the middle. He'll battle his way to the 25. He stopped there, maybe a pickup of 2. Brandon Lee Williams, the junior out of Antioch, California, transferring out of the University of San Francisco, helping to lead the tackle just shy of the 25-yard line.
So you can see the speed of David Lewis in the middle linebacker position as well, seeing the gap, reading the play, and also getting his hands around the feet to bring him down.
They'll give him 2 yards. It'll set up 2nd down and 8. Now we've got personnel adjusting, trying to get set on that defensive front. Moving back to a 4-3 set for Coach Ashley Anders. And before the snap, we've got a whistle. So a timeout taken by the Wolves with 11:14 to go, which gives us a great opportunity to talk about the ceremony and the bust of Erk Russell that now will look over Paulson Stadium and watch his Eagles from the end zone for all time.
For all time. It's a good spot to be as the players get to come out of the locker room, see the bust of Erk Russell, being able to touch him for good luck. You know, not that we're superstitious, but oh yes, I'll say we are superstitious. Beautiful Eagle Creek, that sort of thing. So this now being a new tradition here at Georgia Southern, and it's a good spot to be in because that's where Erk Russell used to stand after his coaching days in that area and watch the ball game. Great honor indeed for the family, for the university, and for the players. It's a bronze statue, 25 inches tall, weighs 100 pounds.
It's beautiful.
It is really beautiful. Bill Olive, the chair of that committee, did a good job. Tim Durden involved with that, Paul Whitlock, and as well as the sculpture was Pat Staben from Georgia Southern.
Yeah, I'm standing right beside it, and it's beautiful. And they didn't even overthink it. It's only got 2 words. Well, it's got Pat Stedman on one side, and on the front it just simply says Erk.
And I make note of that contributions to help pay for that, majority of it so far is coming from the Eagle Football Alumni Association. So those are former Georgia Southern players helping to pay for that bust.
Some more celebration and honor for Coach Russell coming up at halftime, but right now we get back to 2nd down and 8 for the Wolves, who lead by 4 over Erk's beloved Eagles here, 14-10 with 11:14 to go in the first half. West Georgia burns the timeout after it looked like Georgia Southern was a little discombobulated setting up on defense. West Georgia got set, then called for time, and now we have still a little delay in the action here as our referee just about set to blow the whistle and get this play clock started. Now it does, 25 and counting here as Kennebrew in the backfield along with quarterback number 17, Keats Baldwin. 4-3 defense here for the Eagles. 2 wide to the right. 2 receivers left side as Baldwin with no help throws. Catch is made at the 35 by Jimmy Howard. He's slung down inside the 35, but they'll mark him down there, and it's enough for another West Georgia first down.
Chris Rogers checking into the ballgame at the safety position. You'll remember him as a backup quarterback last year. Now playing a quarterback, as you will, for the defense, making the tackle, enabling Brandon Jackson to come in and try to strip the ball away. Not able to do it. First down, West Georgia. There again, you have to compliment their offense. Don't take anything away from what these Wolves are doing.
One of the scouting reports was the strength of the run for the Wolves. They have 14 carries, just 38 net yards here. It's through the air, 10 of 16, 126 yards for the Wolves as they work first down and 10. Firing out again. Howard caught at the 40, brought down at the 41. Good 6-yard pickup as Jackson and Wiggins trying to cover over there, but got to handle and give a lot of credit to Keats Baldwin. He has got a quick fire arm, and Howard only had a few moments being open there as he spotted up at his own 40-yard line, and Baldwin hits him with a bullet.
Taken right out of the Hats playbook on that one.
Time of possession, West Georgia, 11 minutes. 4 minutes and 48 seconds to Georgia Southern. 10 minutes, 10 seconds to go in the first half, 14-10. Wolves lead. 2nd down and 4. Ball at the Wolves' 40-yard line as Baldwin out of a gun. Another quick fire. Receiver caught, hit, but he stays on his feet. Down the sideline, 40-45, and up to midfield before Dixon is finally put out of bounds. That's one of those cases where Eccles, or the defensive back, was licking his chops. Eccles to make that hit. He made the hit, but you got to credit Dixon. He just bounced off of him and then picked up another 10, 12 yards.
He did. It almost looked like Eccles couldn't decide if he wanted to go for the ball or go for the hit. And maybe that slight indecision, he wasn't able to wrap up on him, and he was able just to break free and pick up the first down.
14-10 your score. West Georgia leads. 9:55 to go here in this first half as Baldwin will give it off. Kennebrew up the middle, then stutters, tries to go back, and he's going to be dropped back at the West Georgia 45-yard line. Matt Wise not fooled on that one. Kennebrew trying to use some nifty moves, but Wise uses power and pulls him down for a loss of about 4 yards. And that's maybe the shot in the arm the defense have needed here with 9:35 to go, trailing by 4, 14-10.
Matt Wise, great play on that one. Former tight end from Hazelhurst, Georgia, played ball at Jeff Davis High School, 6'3", 252 junior. Reading that, locking up, bringing him down. Good 4-yard loss there.
9 minutes, 19 seconds to go, first half. Holloway will check in the offensive backfield. They'll look for a swing pass. He's got it at the 40, up the left hash, and pulled down. Nice open field tackle. Wiggins got him at the knees and brought him down right at the 48-yard line. It'll still be about 11 yards shy of a first down. Sets up 3rd and 11 as the Wolves look to come out and continue passing to get their offense moving. Now they're looking at 3rd and 11, trying to get beyond midfield here with 8:50 to go in the first half, but they lead by 4. And again, Georgia Southern fans making some noise here for the defense as Holloway again will stay in on a wing to Baldwin's left. 2 receivers right, 2 to the left. Working from the left hash, Baldwin looking all the way, has to tuck it under, running, throws on the run, no one there, incomplete. And we got a flag as Howard tried to make the catch.
Stayed in bounds. I think they're going to say he went out and came back in.
Yeah, I didn't see him. I looked down and I see coaching staff for Georgia Southern in the blue and white, but he came off the field, then back in to make the play. The flag comes out immediately. We'll see what it's all about. Coach Mike Ledford across the way.
I don't see how it could be on the defense.
No.
Because the line judge was looking at the entire time, and from what it looked like his foot was over the line, and then he tried to kind of come back and reset himself and place his feet.
Illegal touching by the offense. The receiver went out of bounds on his own, was first to touch the ball, making it an incomplete pass. Foot down.
Good job, Ryan, down on the sidelines. Every now and then, everybody gets a nugget. Huh?
There you go. Credit Ronnie Wiggins on that as well. Because as the corner went back to set back, he sees Wiggins coming in on a blitz. That's made him cut to the left and throw that pass the way he did. As a receiver going out of bounds like Chris and Ryan mentioned, and coming back.
Guberman will punt this away after the Georgia Wolves, West Georgia Wolves. Their drive gets stymied near midfield. Jason Foster down at the 10-yard line. 8:29 to go, first half. 14-10 Wolves lead. Guberman gets this one off a mile high, and Foster treating back to the 5. He'll field it at the 3. Starts to cut up field and will be dropped at about the 1-yard line. Great coverage on special teams. One of those decisions about how much would it have taken to get that into the end zone for a touchback is Micah Hurst, sophomore out of Athens, able to get Foster down. They're going to say the ball is at the 3-yard line of Georgia Southern, and that's where the Eagles take over. 97 yards for pay dirt with 8:17 to go, trailing 14-10. Fans, portions of Georgia Southern football brought to you by the Georgia Lottery. Don't forget the Georgia Lottery today could be the day. Coming up in halftime, we'll have a chance to look at the first half stats. As we told you right now, time of possession overwhelmingly in favor of West Georgia, as well as passing yards, as Travis Clark will step on. Speaking of passers, He'll check in at QB. Second time we've seen him on the field. He's got Gray and Lewis. He'll hand this off to Lamar Lewis. Cuts inside left tackle. Breaks a tackle at the ankle at the 5. Loose at the 10. Up to the 20-yard line. Lamar Lewis showing a little bit of finesse, but a little bit of power. I'll say a lot of power on the run. Jeremy Terry eventually gets him down, but he gives the Eagles some breathing room on about a 17, 18-yard rip-off on the ground. It's a 1st and 10 for Georgia Southern. And they move out of the shadow of their own end zone with 8:04 here in the first half. So great job by Lamar Lewis, who looked like he was going down at the line.
You hit it on the nose. Finesse and power is what Lewis shows. Breaking outside right tackle, zigging and zagging and getting through and picking up a major league first down.
McIntosh and Andrews wide to the left side. Campbell wide to the right. Clark, Gray, and Lewis were in the offensive backfield. Clark decides to call time. Not happy with the way things were setting up, and he'll do so as Clark now will take the reins of the offense. As we told you, the story of this game offensively, Terry, has been the passing of Keats Baldwin and the West Georgia receivers.
It has been. And I'll even take it this way. I'll say the story of the ball game is also the play calling from West Georgia. Seeing what they can get away with, noticing that, like we all see, that this is a very fast Georgia Southern defense. What can we do to offset that? Well, misdirection will do that. Short passes will do that. That's exactly what they're doing. And, seeing how we can get us out of our own offensive game plan.
Let's take 10 seconds and pause for station identification. You're listening to Georgia Southern Football from the Georgia Southern Radio Network.
The home for Georgia Southern Football. Georgia Eagle Broadcasting's Eagle 102.9 WBMX Statesboro.
First down and 10 at the 21-yard line of the very own Travis Clark. In at quarterback, waiting to get the play clock started. It's ready. Sean Gray, Lamar Lewis on a wing to either side. Now Gray in motion. Lines up, slot back left side. Clark rolling to his left. Lets it go. Hit as he throws. Looking for Andrews. Incomplete at the 45-yard line. And Travis Clark took a shot that time. Stayed set. Tried to plant as he threw. But boy, did he take one.
And he's wobbling a little bit as he's walking around a little bit, looking to the sidelines. But, hey, he stood in there and took the hit, which is what you expect your quarterback to do. He made it, it was a little bit, caused the pass to be too high. But he stood in there, made a good pass where he could, took the hit. He's back up.
Second down and 10 at the 22-yard line of the Eagles. Working from the right hash mark as they work left to right. Travis Clark in the shotgun. One receiver out wide to the left, two to the right side. Now Clark will look to the sidelines as they take a look at the defense. They'll relay it from the booth down to the sidelines. 8 seconds on the play clock. He'll take the snap. Has some time. Now the pressure comes. He'll have to roll near side. He's going to tuck it and run. Gets to the 20 and pulled down at about the 25-yard line. So he'll pick up maybe 3 yards. It'll be 3rd and 7 here. As Jeremy Terry, the rover back, again covering a lot of ground out there. The 6'2", 209-pound junior out of Belle Glade, Florida.
Jeremy, you talk about Dion Germany and Marcus Wise, both doing a good job. Credit that to your defensive backs for West Georgia.
So a 3rd down and 7 here at the 25-yard line of their very own. 2 wide to the left, 2 to the right. Lamar Lewis on a wing to Clark's left side. Snap back, Travis Clark. This time has the time. Throws, but throws behind the receiver. Irvin Campbell was out there. That one nowhere close. 6:54 to go here in the first half, and that'll set up 4th down and 7. And on will come the punt unit. Fans, don't forget, Georgia Southern football presented in part by the University Store. It's your one-stop shop for all things Southern. And don't forget, the University Store offers game day parking with shuttle service to and from Paulson Stadium each and every time the Eagles take to the field. Come early, get your game gear, and get a ride to Paulson at the University Store. Daniel Johnson back to receive this punt. Dan Jordan, low snap, gets it, kicks it away. This one a pretty nice kick, high. And Johnson fields it at the 28-yard line. Right hash, hit, bounced off a defender. Goes to the far outside, the 30, 35, 40, and pulled down at about the 42-yard line. And I tell you, there were a lot of, I don't know what you say, questionable hits going the other way after he changed his pattern from near side to far side, but I don't see any yellow hankies out there. So West Georgia will have possession, and the ball will be relatively in good field position for the Wolves, who lead by 4 here with 6:39 to go in the first half, 14-10. Great crowd. We're going to get the numbers on the crowd here, but right now it's a little antsy. as they seemed a little stunned the way West Georgia has come out and taken the fight here to the Eagles.
Good punt by Jordan, 47 yards.
Kennebrew in there with Keats Baldwin in the offensive backfield. They'll send a man in motion right to left. They'll give it up on the reverse to Johnson, trying to find some room. Not much there. He's pulled down at about the 42-yard line. May have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. That's about it. Ron Dixon. It's Matt Wise again, able to make a tackle.
Matt Wise doing a very solid job, Ryan, staying with his blocker to read which way it was going to cut. When he saw it, discarded him and made the tackle.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of the defense. I hadn't seen a whole lot of the offense, so it's kind of hard to get a read. I think right now, just from looking at it from down here, Georgia Southern offensively just hadn't gotten into its rhythm yet.
6:05 remaining here in the first half, 14-10. Ball on the left hash mark. Keats Baldwin now with Kennebrew on a wing to his right. Baldwin steps up in the pocket, now has to get out of the way. Throwing on the run, finds an open receiver at the 45-yard line of the Eagles. It's Ron Dixon who bails out his QB and makes Keats look pretty good. It's a 1st and 10 for West Georgia, and they're playing on the Eagles side of the field with 5:51 to go here in the first half.
I'd say Dixon really made his quarterback look very good. As he saw Carson Hill step up to take on the quarterback, Dixon snuck behind him and stayed with the route.
1st down and 10 on the left hash mark at the 44-yard line of the Eagles. Kennebrew again on a wing to his right. Baldwin has a little more time this time. Pocket collapses, running for his life near side. Now will tuck it and run, has daylight 40, and then falls on his own inside the 35 to about the 34-yard line, but very close to another West Georgia 1st down.
Interesting to see almost the exact same area. Carson Hill this time, like you said, Terry, last time he kind of bit. The receiver snuck behind him. This time Carson stays home, so to speak.
It almost looked like Keats Baldwin on that play was stumbling as he was running the whole way, expecting to be tackled at any moment, and it never happened.
No, that will not make the prettiest run highlight reel without a doubt. But he gets it done. 2nd and 1 now. At the Eagles 35, off to Kennebrew. Trying to bounce it outside. He hit and dropped. Nice coverage that time. Joey Tuttle didn't bite on the little juke move, and Tuttle plants him back at about the 38-yard line. Under 5 minutes to play, first half. Clock rolling. So the defense now will try to get the ball back, or at least try to slow down the West Georgia Wolves here, who have really done a great job using the run effectively, but really centering the entire offense around their senior quarterback, Keats Baldwin. 3rd down and 4. This one at the 38-yard line. Holloway in now at tailback. Snap back to Baldwin. He's looking to throw. Pressure comes. Sets up the screen to Holloway. He's got it. Down the right hash, breaks 1 tackle, 2 tackles. 1st down. He's down to the 25-yard line of the Eagles. Henry Chubb finally gets him on the carpet.
Aggressive play by our defense as the screen play. Did a solid job of getting to the quarterback. Everybody else dropping back. West Georgia, good job of blocking, opening up the lane for their guy to sneak through.
Big play for that West Georgia offense. 4:09 and counting here. 14-10. Baldwin gives it off Holloway up the middle. He'll be stood up and smashed back at the 25-yard line. David Lewis finishing him off here as we roll under 4 minutes to go in the first half of action. Coming up at halftime, we'll take a look at the full first half stats. Check some scores from around the Southern Conference as well as around the country. And then a little later on, Courtney Johns will give us another Georgia Southern moment. Right now, the Eagles defense needs to get off the field. The offense has kind of sputtered here of late. And the defense, same old story, been out there quite a while. Here's Holloway again in the backfield as Baldwin takes the snap. Throws out into the flat. Catch is made. Ball is separated by the player. Are they going to say it's loose? They're going to say incomplete. Oh, my goodness, what a shot. You talk about separating player from ball. I believe on that hit, Brandon Eccles may have lost his helmet.
Yeah.
But boy, I tell you, bang, bang, bang.
I've covered a lot of sports, football at the pro, college, and high school level. That's the hardest hit I've ever seen up close.
That's unbelievable.
Good Lord, he just laid the wood.
It was a post pattern. He leveled him. But you know what he did after the play? His players wanted to celebrate. He put his hands up and stopped them because had they had excessive celebration right there, West Georgia would have even gotten better field position. So smart play by Eccles after the big hit.
3rd down and 9 at the 24. Snap back to Baldwin. ready to move on offense. Throws towards the end zone, high pass. He pulls it down. Jimmy Howard's down at the 10-yard line. First down at 10, West Georgia. Threw that in how many blue jerseys? Four.
I got 2 behind him. Count 6, baby.
My goodness.
I thought we were going to get a holding play call back here in the backfield. Arm got around his neck. Sometimes that'll happen. Ref let it go. Could have gone either way. But big catch by West Georgia.
Can't say enough about Keith Baldwin. He shows no fear. He's really not had tons of time. He's been dancing back there. But when he steps and plants and fires, looking at 1st and 10 at the 10-yard line of the Eagles. Baldwin with Holloway in the backfield blocking for him. Gets free. He's on his way to the end zone if he can stay on his feet. Did he get in? He does. West Georgia's in for 6. 20-10. 2:51 to go here in the first half. And Keith Baldwin has put the West Georgia Wolves on his back, including the fans from Carrollton, Georgia. And with 2:51 to go in the first half, he leads by 10. They're looking for one more by Jared Guberman.
A stunned Eagle crowd. Hills are covered right now. Great turnout to this ball game.
Snap, set, kick. This one up by Guberman. And like every time this season, it's up and in. 21-10 your score. West Georgia leads. 2:51 to go here in the first half. We'll take a timeout. Return to Paulson in just a moment. This is the Georgia Southern Radio Network.
Eagle fans, it's time to tailgate. Georgia Southern football is finally here, and your official Georgia Southern tailgate location is McAllister's Deli in Statesboro. Located in the New Market District behind the Medical Center with delicious fresh sandwiches, sides, and desserts, you're sure to have the tailgate spread for all of your Eagles. And don't forget that nothing goes down better with an Eagle victory than McAllister's Sweet Tea. And check out their locations in Macon and coming soon to Augusta. McAllister's Deli in Statesboro, proud sponsor of Georgia Southern Athletics.
Hometown.
Right here at home, Farm Bureau Insurance offers your family long-term security with life insurance programs tailored to satisfy your needs, from last expenses to mortgage protection and children's education, even tax-deferred savings and retirement. And your Farm Bureau Insurance agent has the expertise and training you expect from one of the nation's top life insurance companies.
Very large, but mostly quiet crowd here with 2:51 to go at Paulson Stadium. 21-10 your score as West Georgia leads over the home team in blue and white. Guberman tees it up at the 30. Rajah Andrews, Lamar Lewis back deep. Special teams needs something, a shot in the arm, but Guberman won't give them a chance as Reddick, the upback, will take the short kick. Get to about the 38-yard line of his very own. That's where the Eagles take over here with 2:48 to go. Georgia Southern football presented in part by Custom Marine in Statesboro. Come see the beautiful new line of Pioneer boats. They've got a Georgia Southern theme boat here at Bishop next to Paulson Stadium. Custom Marine having a huge end-of-year clearance on all boats in stock as the 08s are arriving daily. Get up to $3,000 worth of in-mark gas with your purchase. Just contact Custom Marine for details.
18 minutes, 46 seconds, time of possession for West Georgia compared to 8 minutes and 23 for Georgia Southern. Foster back at quarterback, looking for something to finish this half off.
He'll work in the backfield with Sean Gray and Mike Hamilton. Eagles will set a receiver to each side. As the Wolves expecting Foster to run, he'll throw out the swing pass to Hamilton, 35, and brought out of bounds at the 39-yard line. Back to the line of scrimmage. That's about it. It's Gary Hodges showing his speed, able to pull down Hamilton. That one just thrown a little behind Hamilton there. He had to reach up with his big left arm to try to pull it in. Turned his body, really couldn't have full momentum after the catch. And now we're down to 2 minutes and 40 seconds as they were able to get out of bounds. The ball on the right hash mark as the Eagles work left to right. Again, Jason Foster. We've got the scoring started on a 54-yard touchdown run on the second play for the Eagles. Foster looking to throw. Now he'll tuck it and run. He's off to the races to the 40. Got a flag coming in as Foster gets to the 45 of his own. And Foster slinging off some of the big defensive guys there after he's brought down. We got a flag coming in on the backside of that play. We'll go down to our referee to get that call, but
like we talked about, Chris, trying to make something happen and then perhaps turning it into a bad situation.
Holding on, Georgia Southern. So what would be 2nd and 9 is going to change here with 2:29 to go here in the first half. Checking some scores from the Southern Conference. The Citadel today, no problem with Weber International, 76-0. The Bulldogs light them up. Appalachian State, no Michigan hangover, 48-7 over Lenoir-Rhyne. West Georgia, as we told you, leading 21-10. Elon winning over West Virginia Wesleyan 10-7, and Wofford up on Charleston Southern in the first quarter 7-0. So they'll back this up to the Eagles, back to the Eagle 30-yard line. 2nd down and 20. It's Foster and Hamilton in the backfield. They'll send trips to the left side. One lone receiver right side, and we had movement, and flags come out. Looks like one of our receivers decided to make one step too soon.
Offense, number 66. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd.
It's time to regroup. Halftime could not come at a better time, and I would think Coach Hatcher, one of the things he's going to do is say, guys, it's time to test your character here. It's about playing as a team, and you need to go into halftime with some positive.
2nd down and 25. Screen pass is incomplete. Trying to get it out to Rajah Andrews left side. Thrown low. Rajah trying to go down to scoop it up. Couldn't do so. And that'll set up 3rd down and 25. Again on the Eagles' 24-yard line, down 21-10 with 2:05 to go here in the first half. It's been all West Georgia outside the first offensive drive for the Eagles, where Foster went 54 yards back in that first quarter at the 13:59 mark. Jesse Hartley at 5:12 in the first quarter added a 21-yard field goal. McIntosh wide to the left. Jefferson, Andrews, and Campbell trips to the right side. Off to Foster. Design run. Looking for blockers. Tries to cut it at the 30. Dancing around. Trying to make it to the 35. But it'll be smothered up and dropped at about the 30-yard line. Well shy of the first down. It'll be 4th down and a mile. Leroy Benjamin able to scoop him up. Nose tackle position after chasing him downfield. And now with 1 minute and 39 seconds, the punt unit will come onto the field.
Situation where you want the clock to go down as far as you possibly can before you punt it. Jordan having a strong leg, 47-yarder last time he took the field. Ball spotted at the 32. Needs a good hang time on this, no return, and let your defense keep West Georgia out before half.
1 minute, 19 seconds. Jordan handles the snap. This one a beautiful and high and deep kick. Fielded back at the 18-yard line. Looking to get to the far sideline is Kennebrew. Not much room, and he's chased out of bounds near the 25-yard line of his very own is Irvin Campbell giving chase on special teams. But 1 minute, 6 seconds to go here in the first half. It is 21-10. West Georgia leading by 11.
Another solid punt by Jordan, close to 50 yards on that one. Defense needs to step. West Georgia, they're smart. They're just trying to run out the clock at this point and get in with the lead that you have. Don't be surprised for a quick strike. This is where your safeties, you got Bynum back there. Just need to sit back. Don't let anybody get behind you. Keep them up front. Don't let them get a first down.
Keats Baldwin, the senior quarterback, already 2 touchdown passes on the afternoon. Add to that Kennebrew on a 4-yard run to get the Wolves on the board in the first quarter. Snap back. Baldwin has all day. Throws across the middle. Behind the receiver, Howard, coming across the middle at the 30-yard line. That one was... Well, if you're going to throw a bad pass, that was a good one to have. There were 3 Eagles in the vicinity. Nobody able to make a play on it. It'll be 2nd down and 10 at the 27 of the Wolves. Clock stops a minute 2.
You know, one of the things Coach Hatcher talked about was the unknown. He sees how they practice, but you don't know how they are until game time and how they're going to play. In this case, now we get to find out how they're going to react going in halftime, losing 21-10, because right now I'm not seeing a lot of spunk on the sideline.
James Kennebrew in at tailback. It'll be Baldwin again out of a shotgun exclusively so far in the afternoon. Kennebrew right up the gut, finds a hole across the 30 and spun down at the 32-yard line by Ronnie Wiggins, coming up from the corner position. Under a minute now, 51 seconds and counting, 21-10. Wolves lead. West Georgia appears to try to get the play in here quickly. They're not just content, it doesn't appear. Although now they slow the process down a little bit with 33 seconds to go in the half. With the play clock at 9, they'll give it off to Kennebrew, breaking it outside on the left end. He's pulled down at the 35-yard line. Brandon Eccles leading the charge out there from the free safety position.
This is not a situation where West Georgia needs to do anything stupid and force it or give a turnover to Georgia Southern. And as I said, let them go into halftime on a positive note. Let the clock run out. The Wolves take it in. Be happy they're up 21-10. And hopefully the crowd will be back into it in the second half.
That will be it for the first half. Both teams will head towards the locker room. We hope to get a word with Coach Chris Hatcher. I imagine he's not very pleased. 21-10 your score.
Yeah, Coach, I know the score not going the way you want to in the first half to assess your team's performance. So,
well, we actually can't get any rhythm going on offense because we get penalties or we turn the ball over and we're not tackling good on defense. So if we can go out here and tackle better in the second half, execute better on offense, and we got a chance. Right now, we don't look like we've been very well coached, and we're fixing to get that squared away.
Best of luck, Coach.
Thank you, Ryan. That's the end of the first half. The Wolves, as Coach Hatcher said, deserve the 21-10 lead here at halftime. The coaching staff and team head into the locker room to see if they can regroup and have a spectacular second half.
Today, more and more people are insuring their homes with us through Auto Owners Insurance. We'll provide low-cost, quality protection, claim service that is second to none. And if you insure both your home and car through Auto Owners Insurance, you'll qualify for additional premium discounts.
See Brian Glenn and Sean Davis today for all your auto owners insurance information at Glenn Davis & Associates, your auto owners insurance agents. Glenn Davis & Associates, 7th Avenue in Statesboro.
Welcome back to Paulson Stadium. Second half kickoff presented by Georgia Farm Bureau Insurance. Georgia Farm Bureau agencies. 59 Georgia Farm Bureau Insurance has offered farm, home, auto, and light commercial insurance. Contact the Georgia Farm Bureau representative today at Georgia Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best. Guberman kicked the ball off to start the second half. Lamar Lewis able to pull it up near the 28-yard line of their very own. Georgia Southern starts on offense after winning the toss and deferring. 14:52 to go here, and the Wolves lead 21-10. Foster at quarterback. Lewis and Hamilton in the backfield. Two receivers to the right, one to the left as the sun goes down here in Statesboro. Foster on the run, on the options. Got it loose at the 40, up to the 46-yard line. Jason Foster. There's an offensive shot in the arm as Joshua Mitchell, strong linebacker, finally tracks him down, but it's enough for a Georgia Southern first down. And you get the sense that Coach Hatcher talks about the Hatch attack in all phases of the game, but getting the football to start the second half, the way to set the tone and get back in this in a hurry is to do it with the O. Hamilton and Lewis in the backfield. Foster is your quarterback out of the shotgun from the right hash. Eagles working left to right. He's going to give it off. Hamilton's got it inside the 50. No, it's Lewis inside the 30 to the 20. Pulled down behind at the 18-yard line. Lamar Lewis hauls Jeremy Terry a couple of yards, picks up a big first down, and like that, the Eagles inside the West Georgia red zone with 14:17 to go. Jason Foster, one play. Lamar Lewis, two plays. And now the West Georgia Wolves quickly out of the locker room have their defensive foot on the heel.
There again, we see Lewis's finesse, his speed, and his strength all on that run right there. Great play by Lewis.
First down and 10 at the 18 of the Wolves. Lewis and Hamilton again. Foster out of the gun, gives it to Hamilton, coming near side, finds a seam inside the 10, on his feet inside the 5, and pulled down at the 3-yard line. That time Mike Hamilton showing his strength and good vision. Ray Mitchell eventually saves the touchdown, but just like that, 68 seconds, and Georgia Southern's first and goal at the Central, or rather West Georgia 4-yard line.
He's a big guy, too.
He is a big guy.
He really is. He looks like a small forward.
You mentioned he likes to run in between tackles. Very strong running back. We just saw that out of Hamilton.
Foster again out of a gun. Lamar Lewis, Dusty Reddick to each side in the offensive backfield. A receiver to each side. Going to give it off. Lewis trying to stretch it near side. Pulled down from behind. Great tackle that time by Gary Hodges as Lamar just could not get around the corner and turn it upfield. He gets back to the line of scrimmage. It'll stay first down, goal to go from the 3-yard line. 13-19 and counting, just underway here in the second half.
Wise doing a good job staying with his blocker, getting on Lewis, grabbing him from behind and just pulling him down, showing his strength, but we're in a good situation. Need to get 7. We'll take a field goal, but we need to get 7 here.
Looks like we'll have a timeout taken by West Georgia. 13:06 to play here in the second half. 21-10, West Georgia leads. Georgia Southern comes out, takes the opening kickoff, and on the ground picks up a heap of yards and gets down early. First down, goal to go at the 3-yard line.
One of the things we said coming out of half was to see how is this team going to react to this situation that they're in right now. Not only the team, but how is the coaching staff, Ryan, going to react?
Yeah, and I talked you guys a little bit off the air. It's interesting to watch the mannerisms and how a coach kind of reacts. And just to give you a little perspective down here, Coach Hatcher really, you don't see a whole lot of emotion. I mean, obviously there is the emotion of a call that doesn't go one way, or maybe a little frustration in the lack of rhythm of an offense. But it's interesting to see Hatcher's very calm and collected, and he really keeps it together on the sidelines.
And as you can hear, my third part of that equation is how is our crowd going to react? How is our fan base?
They're back in it.
I'm pleased to say that, but they're also still physically here.
We're going to get you the attendance numbers in just a little bit. A large crowd. And now the Georgia Southern faithful watching their men in blue and white here. First down, goal to go from the 3-yard line. Check that second down, goal to go from the 3. With 13:06 to go here in the second half. 21-10, West Georgia leads. Lamar Lewis and Dusty Reddick will stay out there in the offensive backfield. McIntosh out wide to the left. Rajah Andrews will set up here wide to the right side. Ball's placed on the right hash mark at the 3-yard line of the Wolves. Jason Foster out of the gun. Waits on the snap. Gets it off. It's Lewis. Caught from behind and wrapped up and dropped back around the 6-yard line. As Joshua Mitchell, the inside linebacker, gets the stop. So now you're looking at the second time of the night, gentlemen, where we have been first and goal inside the 5. We're looking at third and goal from the 5 here. We got a 21-yard field goal last time that happened. And now Travis Clark will come in from the sidelines and check into the game at QB.
And Foster stays in, by the way.
Foster will be a back on the right side of Clark here on third down, goal to go from the 5. As Tim Camp in motion. Check that. Andrews in motion left to right. He'll line up right side. Ball's loose on the carpet. It may be Wolf football.
I think it is.
Oh, my goodness, it is. Oh, with 12-19, the Wolves turn away the Eagles. And a lot of momentum as they fumble the snap on third down and goal from the 5-yard line. So the Wolves turn and avoid the bullet here and hold their lead 21-10.
Changing out quarterbacks, a little different. We talked about rhythm at the end of the first half. Rhythm with the center. Rhythm with the quarterback exchange. Right there, we saw it happen. Defense was on the field an awful lot in the first half. Now they're being called upon to step up to the plate again, and a good situation for a turnover happens right now.
First down and 10 at the 6 of their own as Kennebrew and Baldwin lit it up in the first half. They have Higgins out wide to the right, Howard out wide to the left in his own end zone. Throws in the hands, almost picked off, but dropped at the 15-yard line by Carson Hill. He threw that one right into coverage, and Carson waiting for it, trying to hit Patrick Higgins, but Hill just couldn't hold on. It'll set up second down and 10 from the 6-yard line.
Great position by Carson Hill that he was in, Ryan.
Yeah, it was, and it looked like he was sitting in a man-to-man, whereas a lot of times in the first half it looked like they had Hillside dropping into the zone.
Second down and 10 at the Wolves 6-yard line with 12:14 to go, third quarter. Higgins out wide to the right. Crowley and Howard wide to the left side. Keats Baldwin again working out of the gun, and he's got Kennebrew on his left. Baldwin going to keep it coming near side with the quarterback misdirect. Gets to about the 10-yard line before he stopped there. Brandon Jackson able to get on him. Pickup of about 4 yards.
Not this time, Brandon Jackson says to Keats Baldwin. That play that he had so effectively done in the first half. Brandon Jackson read it well, stayed put, and then attacked.
Big third down and 6 here. And as Ryan mentioned, and Terry mentioned, the offense sputters, gives up the football at the 5. The defense here can really help their partners out on this third down and 6 from the Wolves' 10-yard line. Three wide to the right, one to the left. Low snap, Baldwin's got it. Steps back, now steps up under pressure, running for his life up to the 16-yard line. Depending on the spot, he's close to a first down. E.J. Webb tracks him down. Looks like he's just shy as they place it down on the near side, right at about the 16-yard line.
Give credit to the middle official right there as he threw a good block on Brandon Daniel, keeping Daniel from bringing down Keats Baldwin.
Looks like the officials will call for a measurement across the way with 11:18 to go.
Keats feeling the pressure as he has all night, but not able to bring him down.
They'll bring the chains out.
If he gets it, it's going to be by the nose.
They'll place the chains. Everyone waits with bated breath here. Big decision.
Nope.
And it is
by
shy.
An inch.
Yeah, by an inch.
By an absolute, that's as close of an inch as you're going to get.
So, Coach Mike Ledford, wasting no time, calls in the punting unit here. One has been blocked so far tonight. It led to an eventual Georgia Southern field goal from 21 yards out. But again, it's the second time inside the 5, Georgia Southern's unable to get a touchdown. As Guberman, special teams guru for the Wolves, will stand back about a yard deep in his end zone.
And this was a real bad problem for them last year at 1-9. They couldn't punt or kick, so Guberman's really helped turn this program around early in the season.
Jason Foster stands at his 44-yard line.
Be careful not to get too close to the punter in this situation or to be drawn off sides either.
4th down and an inch. A lot of movement. They're going to fake it, and they've got the first down and then some. You had the feeling Georgia Southern anticipated it. They were crowding the front of that line, trying to make and catch the snap count, but West Georgia doing a good job. Gets it up to the 20-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Wolves. So Mike Ledford shows he's a gambling man across the way, and it keeps the drive alive with 11:06 to go in the third quarter. Wolves up 21-10.
The way that offense drove down the length of the field for Georgia Southern, even though it did sputter inside the 5, you can't blame him for trying to do something like that and keep that defense on the field.
The Wolves doing a good job protecting the football in that first half. With 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line, Higgins out wide to the right. Baldwin on the option. Late pitch. Gives it off to Johnson. He gets up near the 30 and brought out of bounds at the 31-yard line. It's enough for another West Georgia first down.
Make no mistake about it, these Wolves have come to play and come to take a victory back to Carrollton once again. And certainly not letting up on offense at all.
Third meeting between these two teams. And, of course, the last meeting here, not spoke of a lot, but I'm sure they do out in Carrollton. 1st down and 10 at the 31. The Wolves now methodically marching down the field. 10:36 to go, third quarter. Baldwin's going to throw this deep, up for grabs, ball in the air, and incomplete. At the Eagle 44-yard line, it bopped around to Patrick Higgins, and almost a chance for an Eagle to make a play. Brandon Eccles in on the area, along with Brandon Jackson out there. But again, Baldwin throws a great football. It was on the numbers. He just couldn't hold on. Pretty good defense.
Very impressive with Patrick Higgins so far. Able to leap off his feet, almost bringing down the play. He's doing a solid job for the Wolves at wide receiver. We had 4 men around that play, and we almost got the tip drill.
2nd down and 10 at the 31. Kennebrew again, tailback on the right side of Keats Baldwin, who sends trips out. They'll set up a jailbreak screen. It's caught at the 30, coming to the middle of the field and pulled down at the 35. Nice tackling by the Eagles as they get it to Patrick Higgins. Chris Covington leading the charge, but unfortunately, that's only about the 2nd or 3rd time we've really talked about Covington back there after his move to safety. But he certainly has the speed, and the 5'11", 190-pound junior out of Lawrenceville really needs to lead this defense here as time now down to 10 minutes. Play clock down to 10. Baldwin still looking to the sideline on a big 3rd down and 6 from the 35. Holloway checks in as the tailback. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Baldwin has time, fires it out, and we may have, incomplete pass. Had a little touching going on between Howard and Eccles out there. The intended receiver couldn't come up with it at around the 41-yard line, right at the first down marker. So it's 4th and 6 at the 35. The defense does its job. They will force the punt. Hopefully, after West Georgia faked one on 4th and inches.
Time of
Foster's
possession.
out.
Time of possession was the key to the first half, and there again, West Georgia comes out and is doing it again.
9:45 to go, third quarter, as Guberman kicked this away nearby the 22-yard line of his own. Trying to kick it away from Foster, kicks it far sideline, takes a West Georgia bounce inside the 20. Foster gets away from it, and the Wolves will down it inside the 15-yard line. With 9:33 to go, the Wolves lead 21-10. While we have a moment, let's pause for station identification. You're listening to Georgia Southern Football from the Georgia Southern Radio Network.
Home for Georgia Southern football. Georgia Eagle Broadcasting's Eagle 102.9 WPNX Statesboro.
Unofficially a 51-yard punt off the leg of Guberman. Puts the Eagles back at their own 14-yard line here with 9:33 to go, third quarter, trailing 21-10 on the opening game of 2007. Foster back in at quarterback. Gray and Lewis in the offensive backfield, setting up for Foster. Dancing around now, cuts it up the middle, up near the 20. Maybe a pickup of 4 yards, depending on where they say he was down. He got to about the 19, so we'll give him 5 yards on the carry.
One of the things that Chris Hatcher talked about before the season started is he wanted the ball in Foster's hands as many times as possible. We've seen some of that tonight.
Had a 54-yard touchdown run on the first possession for the Eagles, but since then, it's been quiet. Second down at 5, they give it off to Lewis. He is grabbed up in the offensive backfield and brought down at the line of scrimmage by Leroy Benjamin. And with 8:50, quickly, just like that, to go in the third quarter, it'll be third down and about 3. They gave him some forward motion, but a huge third down here. Nope, it's going to be 3rd and 5. But the Eagles have to find a way to convert and keep the drive alive here with Gray and Lewis in the offensive backfield behind Jason Foster. 2 wide to the right, 1 to the left. Jason runs to his left, now comes back, fires to Andrews on the screen. Got some room, 25-30, shakes and bakes up to the 35-yard line. First down and 10. Georgia Southern, as Ty Morrell has to finally track down Rajai Andrews, who Coach Hatcher has raved about in the fall camp as one of the top receivers coming out of the August practice sessions. 8:18 to go. 1st and 10 now for the Eagles. And a big third down conversion in that first half of action. Georgia Southern, by the way, 0 of 6 on third downs.
Good run after the catch. Like to see him hold on to the ball a little bit better. But we picked up the first down regardless.
Lewis and Hamilton now back. Will flank Foster out of a shotgun. Give it off. Hamilton, left tackle, powers his way, or rather Lewis powers his way up across the 35. About the 37-yard line. Pickup of 2. Second down and 8 coming down with 7:47 to go here in the third quarter. And this clock just ticking away. And the Wolves look up, see themselves up by 11, 21-10.
You know, Chris, you talk about the third down production. That has a lot to do with the lack of time of possession this offense has had on the field.
Zeke Rozier, the true freshman. Bleckley County will check in. Quick fire. Andrews, a lot of people in front of him trying to give him some blocks. He crosses the 40 but steps out, pushed out by Mitchell near side at the 43-yard line. 7:23 as the clock stops here in the third quarter. It'll be third down and 2 coming up for the Eagles as they place the ball down at the 44-yard line of their very own. Foster in at quarterback. Zeke Rozier, true freshman, will be the running back. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left side as they stack the box here for West Georgia. Here's the snap. Foster goes straight, now cuts it back around the end. He's got a good block at the 50. He's to the 40. Break loops at the 30. Katie bar the door. Foster's on his way home. Put an Eagle 6 on it. Touchdown, Georgia Southern. 21-16. On a 57-yard touchdown run to go with the 54-yard runner back in the first quarter.
Foster looking for something up the middle and says, the heck with this. Bounces it out around the left, sheds 2 tackles. Next thing you know, he puts it in another gear. Chris, Ryan, it's on to the races, and it was almost like he was on the field by himself.
Important point after here. Foster will hold, catch his breath. Hartley puts it up. It's pretty as you please. 21-17, 7:13 to go here in the third quarter of action. And Eagle Nation back on top, on their feet here at Paulson Stadium. We'll take a timeout. We'll return to Paulson in just a moment. You're listening to Georgia Southern Football.
Eagle fans, it's time to tailgate. Georgia Southern Football is finally here, and your official Georgia Southern tailgate location is McAllister's Deli in Statesboro, located in the New Market District behind the Medical Center. With delicious fresh sandwiches, sides, and desserts, you're sure to have the tailgate spread for all of your Eagles. And don't forget that nothing goes down better with an Eagle victory than McAllister's Sweet Tea. And check out their locations in Macon and coming soon to Augusta. McAllister's Deli in Statesboro, proud sponsor of Georgia Southern Athletics.
Walker Pharmacy, your one-stop shopping for everything you need. With 23 years of service to Bullitt County, our pharmacists are here to assist you face-to-face. With 3 locations to serve you and the best staff in town at 202 Northside Drive West, 100 Brampton Avenue next to East Georgia Regional Medical Center, and in Brooklet. Our hours are 8:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday and 9 to 5 on Saturdays. Choose from our free delivery service available within a 10-mile radius or our convenient drive-thru. Walker Pharmacy, your one-stop shopping for everything you need.
7:13 to go in the third quarter. Georgia Southern awakens here in the third quarter. They now trail 21-17. 6-play drive. Capped off a 57-yard run by Jason Foster, who, as Terry said, started to go up the middle, put the brakes on, spun it around left side, and left everyone, his blockers, his teammates, and more importantly, the Wolves in the dust. And he gets the Eagles back in contention here and gets the crowd back into it, which they desperately needed. That's your Badcock Furniture scoring recap. Badcock Furniture, proud supporter of Georgia Southern Athletics. Kick to Johnson, fielded at the 10, up the right hash, now cuts to the middle of the field, pulled down from behind and dropped at the 27, ball loose. It's a fumble, picked up by Eccles, put an Eagle 6 on it. Touchdown, Georgia Southern. With 7:03 to go in the third quarter, Johnson tried to get extra yards. The ball popped loose, and we saw the flicker from the official that the ball was open.
The 30.
Now there is a flag down way back, typically at the 30-yard line on the other side of the field. It's 23-21 right now. Let's hold the phone. We'll find out as Brandon Eccles picked it up. No whistles he heard, and he marches in from about the 22-yard line, and now they take the score off the board. And the boos will come out immediately.
We'll wait on the official's call, but typically where that flag is, somebody got a head start on the kickoff.
And that is indeed what it'll be, as Hartley's back on the field warming his leg up. And what a big-time play. He's marked off the board.
Entered and did not get inside the 9-yard marks. 5-yard previous re-kick.
So that it is. Didn't get lined up properly. And they'll re-kick from the 25.
Coach Hatcher is having a very deep conversation with the official at this point. Where Ryan, you'd mentioned about emotion.
Okay, there's some emotion out there now.
And you can't really blame him. It's we have to look at this technical call on this play and get something back on this. And we'll have to get Pat Osterman in here to help us out with that. We'll give you some information on what just happened. There's more to it than offsides.
So, after this place exploded with 20,000 plus, 23 is wiped off the board. It remains 21-17, but now the noise comes back as Hartley puts it on the tee at the 25. 2 back deep for the Wolves as this one's kicked away. Another pretty good kick from the 25 as Johnson again fields it at the 10. Up the right hash. Now cuts it, trying to go to the sideline. Steps away from one tackler across the 30 and thrown out of bounds at about the 33-yard line, but he keeps possession. And the Wolves avoid another bullet. Henry Chubb forces him out wide. 7 minutes to go in the third quarter. 21-17. The Wolves lead, but the Eagles, on the backs and legs of Jason Foster, are right back in it.
We talked about Hatcher saying he wanted to keep the ball in Foster's hands as much as possible. Third down, 2 situation. Foster says, I'm the senior, I'm the guy. I'll get it there, and he does.
First down and 10 at the 33. Kennebrew back in, Keats Baldwin completely out of the shotgun. Gives it off, Kennebrew up the middle, gets across the 35 and pulled down at the 36 by Larry Beard. But some hard-earned yards today by Kennebrew. And as we said earlier, almost Ryan kind of running enough to keep him honest, but the offense is really centered around Keats Baldwin and the receiving core.
Yeah, and that's, I think, one of the reasons why Covington hasn't played as big a factor, because all these long drag routes that they're running all the way across from the far side of the field, and it kept Covington kind of back on his heels, and you hadn't seen a whole lot of them because of that dump stuff, that drag route stuff.
Second down and 4 at the 39. Kennebrew in the backfield. 2 to the right, 2 to the left. They give it to Kennebrew again as they're going to try to keep it on the ground, and Kennebrew scrapes his way near the sticks. Larry Beard again gets him down, but he looks to be close enough for another Wolf first down.
And in talking with Patrick Callaway inside the huddle a couple of hours ago in the pregame show, a former Wolf himself from last year's squad, he said, the biggest difference for Kennebrew is going to be having Keats Baldwin back there. Here's a team that was 7-4 with Baldwin under center. He blows his knee out in the spring game. They're 1-9. And he said, Kennebrew's going to be a lot better with a guy that can throw back there.
So he got near the sticks. They'll bring out for another measurement. They'll stretch it out across the 40. He's got to look to be just beyond the 43. They put it down, and this time by the nose, they have it.
Time of possession still pretty strong for West Georgia. They have a 7 minutes on us on time of possession, 7 of 13 on third down conversions.
You got to believe Coach Ashley Andrews right now, wanting his big guys, Wise, Barker, Daniel, Beard, Tuttle, Watkins, Suggs, Williams, whoever's lined up, they've got to find a way to stop Kennebrew and avoid these positive yards. This time he picks up a couple. That's all to the 45 as Yusef Holloway checks in at tailback. Holloway letting Kennebrew catch a breather here as we're under 6 minutes to go here in the third quarter, 5:43 and counting.
But not forgetting that they do like to do that little dump pass, the little crossing pattern they also like to do. Baldwin's 18 of 29 so far, almost 200 yards in passing.
Second down and 8 at the 45 of their very own on the left hash mark. Trip receiver stacked to the right side, one lone receiver left. And Holloway in the backfield with Baldwin. He'll be there to block. He's looking downfield. Pocket collapses, and he's brought down inside the 40 by Larry Beard at about the 37-yard line. Big loss on the play, a loss of about 8. Bennett just got abused up front by Larry Beard. Bennett, 6'6", 270, the senior. No match for the junior out of Fairburn, Georgia. And a big-time defensive stop that time sets up 3rd and 15. From the 38-yard line of the very own.
And you hit it on the head. Beard's pushing from one side. Matt Wise is pushing from the other. It just collapsed on top of him.
3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Crowley and Higgins out there wide for the Wolves as Baldwin out of the shotgun again. Looking to throw downfield across the middle. Is it intercepted? No, it's incomplete, but a nice play by Quentin Taylor coming close to picking off the football. But they'll take the incompletion that sets up 4th down and 15 as they were looking for Daniel Johnson, who's been a danger threat all afternoon. And now the crowd gives the defense a well-deserved hand as they make their way to the sidelines. And Rajah Andrews will trot out for the first time tonight to field this punt.
Momentum starting to swing a little bit.
Big defensive stand for the Eagles. Quentin Taylor doing a good job staying with the tight end, trying to sneak that interception out.
High snap, pulls it down though. Gooberman gets it away. Knuckleball punt, far side. Andrews fields it at the 24. Up to the 30, trying to get back to the middle of the field, staying on his feet across the 40 and brought down at the 43-yard line. Excellent play on special teams by Rajah Andrews and his blockers in blue and white with 4:25 to go. Yeah, I think Omo might be swinging a little bit. 21-17, the Wolves lead. But the Georgia Southern offense getting set to get back on the field. And even though he's got a 54-yard touchdown run, gentlemen, and a 57-yard touchdown run just a few moments ago, I think not only did they need to give Jason a breather from taking punts, I think he was taking some good direction from a guy who knows how to coach quarterbacks, and that is Chris Hatcher.
Don't get me wrong, I love the quick strikes, but I'd like to see a long, sustained drive so that we talked about rhythm. They can get into a rhythm for once.
First down and 10 at the 42 from the left hash, moving left to right. Sean Gray, Lamar Lewis in the backfield. Going to give it off Lewis. Left tackle finds a hole across the 45 up near the 49-yard line. A pickup of about 6, maybe 7 yards on that left side with 4:15 to go. Lamar Lewis starting to get some movement out there. He's got some good blocking downfield from Tim Camp. And the receiving corps, they haven't been huge tonight. They haven't gone to the air. In fact, Georgia Southern, at last check statistically, only 4 of 10 through the air. But they're really learning how to block downfield, something that you've seen many, many years here in Statesboro. Foster throws out into the flat, near side. Campbell's got it. Jukes at the 45 of the Wolves and steps out of bounds. Another Georgia Southern first down. Jonathan King taken to school that time by Campbell, the senior transfer. Played at Michigan State, originally out of Lake Worth, Florida.
I think they heard you on that one, decided, okay, we'll throw the ball.
That's a lot of the look of that Spurrier offense. People compare this offense, that Spurrier offense. You cut the field in half. You got that 2-receiver set on each side.
First down and 10 at the 45 of the Wolves now. 21-17 with 3:44 to go in the third quarter. Sean Gray, Lamar Lewis in the backfield. He'll give it off to Lewis. Misdirection, cuts it right up the middle and gets to about the 41 before he stopped there. 3:35 and counting here, but moving positive yards. And as we said, it looks like now a little more swagger in the step of the Eagles. Check the scoreboard once again. Speaking of that South Carolina offense right now, late in the third quarter, Gamecocks up 13-3 over the number 11 ranked Georgia Bulldogs. Second down and 7 at the 41. Ball on the right hash mark. Eagles attacking left to right. Foster and the shotgun off to Rozier. Got a big hole left side. He breaks free. He's to the 10, to the 5. Put an Eagle 6 on it. Touchdown, Georgia Southern. The true freshman, Zeke Rozier. His name will be remembered. 3:04 remaining. And this time, it's staying up there. 23-21. Georgia Southern back on top.
Say hello to Blakely County. Cochran, Georgia, Zeke Rozier. I know you are yelling right now.
And I know they're listening in Cochran and Blakely.
Yes, they are. We were very blessed, Ryan, to talk a lot about him in the offseason a couple years.
It's the guy you and I both have seen, Terry. That didn't surprise me one bit. He's a class recruit all the way.
Jess Hartley trying to add one more. Once again, up through and perfect. 24-21. Eagles back on top. And the noise level rises here in the prettiest little stadium in America. 3:04 remaining third quarter. Eagles 24, Wolves 21. This is the Georgia Southern Radio Network.
Our hometown.
The Farm Bureau insurance companies are among the most respected providers of home insurance in the nation, and we're located right here in your community. For more than half a century, we've covered American homes with dependable protection, and we back it with fast, fair claim service. Call today for a free, no-obligation review of your home insurance needs.
It's that time of year for Eagle football, and fans, you can show your Eagle pride each and every day with one visit to the University Store, your one-stop shop for all things Southern. A great selection of game gear from Nike, Under Armour, Ashworth, Cutter & Buck, just to name a few. Everything for your home, car, office, mom, dad, and the Little Eagles. Don't forget game day parking at their campus location with a shuttle to Paulson Stadium. The University Store. Visit their on-campus location, game day store at Paulson, and online anytime at gsustore.com. The University Store, your one-stop shop for all things Southern.
3:04 remaining, third quarter, 24-21, as true freshman Zeke Rozier gets a rip of a run, gets into the end zone, gets the Eagles back on top. Hartley connects on the point after. Your Badcock Furniture scoring recap. Badcock Furniture, proud supporter of Georgia Southern football. Hartley kicks us away. Fielded by Yentzer at the 10-yard line near side. Cuts the grain up to the middle of the field. Has a little bit of daylight to the 30 and then slung down at the 34-yard line by Chris Covington. Not in my house, said Chris. Just when Yentzer thought he would have a little bit of room, Covington just kind of, took him by the wrist and brought him to the ground.
A pretty big man he took down, by the way, by Chris Covington. Literally yanking him down by one arm. He had some daylight. It was a good return. Got it back to the, he's at the Wolves' 34-yard line. That was a nice return from fielding in about the 9.
Well, the defense did their job the last time out after things really started to slow down in terms of the way this game was moving. 24-21 with 2:56 to play. Keats Baldwin now works with his offense. Kennebrew back out there playing tailback. Quick screen fired out near side. It's going to be Crowley. He's got it at the 35 and pulled down at the 39-yard line by Carson Hill on coverage. Out of the cornerback position. 2:46 and counting here in the third quarter of action.
Keep in mind, they made adjustments last half literally at the end of the first quarter, made some offensive adjustments. Don't be surprised to seeing that now. Going back to that pass, going to try to slow up that defense. The quarterback, Keith Baldwin has done a fantastic job leading this Wolves offense.
Kennebrew on a wing to Baldwin's left as they work 2nd down and 4 from their own 40 from the left hash. Setting up a reverse, they'll fake it, give it to Kennebrew, found a hole and gets across the 45, enough for a first down before T.J. Watkins gets him down at the 46-yard line of their own. That'll set up 1st and 10 as they approach midfield. They'll place it down at the 47-yard line. 2 minutes and 13 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Georgia Southern football presented by Loco's Grill and Pub. Statesboro's favorite location for great food, great friends, and football. Join us each Thursday night for Inside Georgia Southern football. Here's the pitch to Johnson, smothered and covered up at the 45-yard line as they tried to do the late pitch. Carson Hill stayed at home, followed the ball, and then brings Johnson down in a big-time hurry.
Carson Hill, what a fantastic job he did. Staying with his blocker, seeing the quarterback coming up, Baldwin shedding the blocker and taking his legs out. Doing a fantastic job. Playing more like a junior than a sophomore.
If you're keeping notes at home, Zeke Rozier, 41 yards on that touchdown run with 3:04 remaining in the third quarter. The true freshman, Jesse Hartley, the transfer, has really thus far, knock on wood, has shored up the special teams. He's got a field goal and point after so far tonight. 1:46 to go, 24-21. Georgia Southern leads now over West Georgia, as there was a Wolves slow to get up on that near side. Daniel Johnson, who took that shot from Carson Hill, gets up on his own power and runs from near side to far side. Gets a hand from the fans here in attendance. Going back to look at those stats once again. Ground game picking up for Georgia Southern. The 3:04 mark just after that touchdown. The Eagles 28 carries, 302 yards on the ground.
You know, we talk about new names. Harlan Bowers, another guy on defense. We've seen nice lateral movement sideline to sideline. He's played well at times.
2nd down and 12 here after they stopped him on the option left side from the 45 of their own. Trips, or rather double receivers right side, 2 to the left. Baldwin stepping back, looking downfield, throws in coverage, and this one's caught in Eagle territory at the 47-yard line in double coverage. James Crowley comes up with the ball near a first down marker. He picks up about 10 of those 12 yards there.
In between Chubb, in between Ronnie Wiggins with Covington there. Somehow that ball got in between all of us. And he picks up, 7 yards on the play. 3rd down. Big play by defense here. Big time situation to keep the momentum on the Eagles sideline.
Yeah, they'll mark his knee down at the 48-yard line of the Eagles. The defense asking the crowd to help them out. Under a minute to play. 49 seconds and counting from the right hash. Kennebrew and Baldwin in the backfield. Looking for a swing pass. It's covered up. Baldwin going to run. Takes a shot to the ribs and brought down at the 48-yard line by T.J. Watkins. Maybe a yard on the pickup, but, Ryan, that wasn't what Baldwin wanted to do.
Oh, everything broke down, and we've seen so many times, you and I talk in the break about Baldwin just getting lucky on his 4th and 5th read, just kind of having a good pocket, a solid pocket of protection behind him. But that time there was no read. There was nowhere to go, and the last couple series we kind of see that as a developing theme.
Give credit to Joey Tuttle as well, the senior out of Land O'Lakes, Florida. Punting situation as the final 10 seconds roll off the clock here. Guberman at his own 38 as we're down to 6. He'll get the punt away. Almost blocked by Camp. It's a high kick. Andrews calling for fair catch. He fields it at the 10-yard line as that one was straight into the air and straight back down, and that brings the end of the third quarter. They'll switch sides of the field. 15 minutes remain. Eagles lead by 3, 24-21 in the season opener. We'll return to Paulson Stadium in just a moment. You're listening to Georgia Southern Football.
Hi folks, I'm Trey Baird, Market President for Park Avenue Bank in Statesboro. It's a pleasure knowing that what we do here can help provide some great opportunities for you, our community, to help you provide for your family, maybe buy that first car, that first home, their college tuition, save away for when it's time to relax and enjoy life, or maybe just that first checking account. But it's more than just an opportunity for us here at Park Avenue Bank. It's our responsibility. So come by and visit us at one of our 2 locations and let us show you the endless opportunities Park Avenue Bank can provide. Park Avenue Bank, member FDIC.
Hi, I'm Marsha Colson, General Manager of Metter Ford. We know customer satisfaction breeds customer loyalty. We're blessed to have our customers come back to buy from us time after time. They reward us with their business, and we provide them with service loaners and pickup and delivery service. Metter Ford on I-16 at exit 104, or visit us on the web at metterford.com. Come see us and find out what our customers already know. We'll earn your business, and we'll keep it. Metter Ford. See you soon.
Start of the fourth and final quarter here at Paulson Stadium. Georgia Southern coming from behind after trailing 21-10 at halftime. Jason Foster ripping off a 56-yard run at 7:13 to go in the third, and the true freshman Zico Shear ripping off 41 yards with 3:04 to go. First and 10 at the 10. The Eagles on the field, attacking right to left. Foster, your quarterback. Lamar Lewis in the backfield. They'll give it off. Foster will keep it, come around the left end, up across the 15, and brought down near the 19-yard line as we're underway here in the fourth and final quarter.
It's amazing to me. The whole right side of the line knew Foster was going to keep it, and he still picks up 8 yards. I like the matchup I have over here at wide receiver. I like to see him there in a man coverage up here, and I think we can bird him deep with one shot.
Second down and 2 at the 18-yard line. Working from the left hash. Foster fakes the handoff, little play action, throws this one downfield, looking, it's going to be caught. McIntosh has got it, he's free to the 20, 15, 10, 5, put an Eagle 6 on it, touchdown Georgia Southern.
Can we rewind that tape?
Jason Foster that time got the Wolves to bite on the play action to Lamar Lewis. And it was Michael McIntosh, the transfer out of Jacksonville, Florida, taking it to the house. It's now 30-21. Not a bad-looking touch pass downfield by Jason Foster.
No, it certainly was, and he put it right where it needed to be, and he had man coverage, ran a deep post. Right there, good pass, good catch. Put an Eagle 6 on it.
14:60 to go, fourth quarter. Hartley. Try another. PAT. Kick is up. It's good. 30-21 now. Eagles up by 9. 14:16 to go here in the fourth quarter of action. We'll return to Paulson Stadium in just a moment. This is the Georgia Southern Radio Network.
Here in the South, we know college football is all about endurance, strength, and toughness. Much like the all-new Ford Super Duty, it never backs down from a tough job. Loaded with a 6.4-liter Power-Stroke diesel engine, Super Duty's like the champion lineman you can't take down. And the dual turbos get things moving and keep them moving at higher speeds. So drive everyone's All-American, the all-new 2008 Ford Super Duty. See your neighborhood Ford dealer today.
Here's an open letter to the families of all the newborn voices East Georgia Regional introduces each year. It's a thought for the ones who rely on us to manage their pain, breathe a little easier, or heal their wounds. For those who dance where once they struggled to walk, and to each patient who leans on us to see the world in a better light, claim a victory over their bathroom scale, or just get a good night's sleep. We say, at East Georgia Regional Medical Center, we're dedicated to comprehensive health care, one life at a time.
Two plays for the Georgia Southern offense. They go up top and down deep. They hit Michael McIntosh for the score, 31-21 by 10 with 14:16 to go. And now Paulson Stadium, the fans here who for a while there in the second half, or first half rather, and there's still plenty of time left to go, just 14:16 to go, but they're definitely back in this game now.
Jason Foster, known for his running ability. If there was a knock on him, a lot of people said, well, he couldn't really pass the ball. You heard these coaches talk about the offseason. Well, hey, Jason can pass better than you think. That was not only a nice touch pass, very accurate. And guess what, folks? That's the third longest pass reception in Georgia Southern history.
Michael McIntosh hauls it in. That's your Badcock scoring replay. Badcock Furniture in Statesboro, proud supporter of Georgia Southern Athletics. Jimmy Howard takes the kickoff right up the middle of the field. Now tries to cut it outside to the far sideline and smothered up at about the 20-yard line. Dakota Walker helping out on special teams along with a lot of blue and white jerseys. 14:09 to go, 31-21. It's a 10-point Georgia Southern lead after they trailed by 11, 21-10 at halftime. So the Wolves now will come back out on offense. Coach Mike Ledford, offensive coordinator Spencer Riley. See if they have something different here. Keats Baldwin was sensational in the first half, but the defense from Georgia Southern has turned the tide here. He'll step back. He's going to look to throw downfield. Steps up in the pocket. Now will run. Caught by the shoestring and dropped at the 24. Damon Suggs.
He's real quick. As he said, he feels the pressure from the unit size. Real quick to step up into the pocket, tuck the ball, and run with it. As we kind of had some fun. Maybe not too pretty when he's running the ball, but he's been very effective tonight. He has over 40 yards in rushing for a quarterback that's not known for running the ball.
Second down and 7, a 3-yard pickup that time by Baldwin. Holloway will check in now. Check that. Kennebrew back out on the field. 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. From the 24-yard line to their own. It's a low snap. They give it off to Kennebrew. He finds a little bit of daylight as he makes his way up to the 29-yard line as Chris Covington comes in from strong safety to lay the hit. Again, last check on the scoreboard. South Carolina holding that lead 13-6 over Georgia with 1:54 to go in the third quarter.
Chris, I've heard you say before, and I'd like to hear your thoughts on this. The biggest difference in the team is usually from its first game to its second game. Georgia Southern looks like the biggest difference is the first half to the second half.
Sounded like that was the plan from Coach Hatcher going into the locker room. Now Holloway will check in as Kennebrew steps off momentarily. 12:53 to go. Second down and 3 rather. They'll give it off. And Holloway battling left side is smothered up again. That time a team of Eagles, including the middle linebacker David Lewis, who again we've talked about. He's a sophomore out of Fairburn, Georgia. And Coach Hatcher has talked about one of the question marks coming into the year was the linebacking crew. But some young guys, including true freshman E.J. Webb, have played fairly well. Transfer Dakota Walker has been on tackles, and Quentin Taylor early on in the game made his presence known. It was a third down play for short yardage. They didn't pick it up. 4th down and 1. A long one this time, though, not just inches, from the 30-yard line as Rajah Andrews back to receive the punt. This time Guberman will put it away, trying to kick away from Andrews near side. Fields it on the fair catch at the 29-yard line. So the Eagles take over the football with 12:04 to play, leading by 10, 31-21.
We talked about rhythm in the first half. Coach Hatcher mentioned as he was headed into the locker room. At this point, it almost looked like our defense has been very effective in getting West Georgia out of their rhythm. And hey, Chris, you asked me about attendance earlier. Do you want to know? How's 21,489, the 8th best in Paulson history, and the largest crowd in 3 years.
No doubt they showed up tonight, and they're sticking around here with 1st down and 10 at the 29. Foster in, along with Lewis in the backfield. Give it off to Lewis. Cuts right tackle, shakes and bakes, gets free. He's up across midfield, got a great block at the 45. He's to the 30 down the sideline, needs one more move, and he's pulled down at the 15-yard line. No flags on the play, and Lamar Lewis springs free for a big gainer and gets inside the West Georgia red zone. Dion Germany eventually able to hem up Lamar Lewis, who now starting to rack up the yards on the ground. Georgia Southern already unofficially over 300 yards on the ground tonight. We'll get an update coming up.
Attack that on. That's got to be about 350 yards on the ground attack so far. That's incredible.
That was sideways almost.
So now 1st and 10 at the 15. On the left hash mark, Foster along with Lewis. Camp wide to the left, Andrews wide to the right side. Foster again, Lewis cuts inside left tackle. This time they hem him up and bring him down at the 12-yard line. 11:29 remaining here in the game. Eagles up by 10, 31-21.
Lewis and Foster both have the ability to take what looks like, Ryan, an ordinary play and turn it into something extra special.
Yeah, especially when you see this West Georgia deep thinned out across the line. And both of them, while they're different sizes, they both have that ability to make guys miss. They both have that ability to change directions.
Zeke Rozier, who has a touchdown in his pocket here tonight. The true freshman lines up just right of Jason Foster on 2nd down and 8 from the 13-yard line of the Wolves. Working from the left hash mark, Foster, snap, gives it off. Rozier trying to bounce outside, gets there, and punishes a defender as he piles his way to the 11-yard line. I think he took Joshua Mitchell with him. A strong inside linebacker. Mitchell, I think, a little slow to get up after the big, true freshman.
You got to watch yourself when you're a young running back in a crowded backfield laying the wood like that on the defender. You'll find yourself on the defense real fast.
6'1" to 190. Rozier can certainly knock it out a little bit. And credit this offensive line. We've had several long plays tonight without holding calls. And, we've seen some of them called back. Receivers blocking downfield, doing a very solid job.
3rd down and a long 5 here. Rozier will stay out. Gives it to him. Got a hole left tackle down inside the 5 and pulled down at the 2-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal for Georgia Southern on the legs of Zeke Rozier.
But Terry and I have talked about it. I mean, he and I both have seen Rozier play in his career at Beckley County. I mean, this guy's a difference maker. He's a game changer, no doubt.
Zeke Rozier, as we mentioned, true freshman out of Cochran, Georgia. Highly touted running back out of Bleckley County. Already tonight, 41-yard touchdown run. He sets up the Eagles' 1st down goal to go from the 2-yard line. Foster out of a shotgun. Rozier will get the call. Right tackle, punches it in, put an Eagle 6 on it. Touchdown, Georgia Southern. Zeke Rozier, the true freshman, his 2nd TD of the night. It's 37-21, Georgia Southern.
Last year we had kicking by committee. So far this year we have running by committee, and I like this committee a whole lot better.
9:41 to go here in the 4th quarter of action. Something tells me the hatchet tack got sharpened in that locker room, gentlemen. 37-21, point after is up and good. Special teams has been there tonight. It's now 38-21. Georgia Southern on top of West Georgia. 9:41 to go. We'll return to Paulson Stadium in just a moment. You're listening to Georgia Southern football.
Mentor Ford, you always get big city selection with hometown service. Whether it's a new Ford or their extensive inventory of pre-owned vehicles, people from Statesboro, Savannah, Macon, and all points in between know for the best deal and no pressure buying, it's always Mentor Ford. So when it's time for that next vehicle, find out what so many of your friends and neighbors already know. Buying a Ford is better in Mentor. Mentor Ford, just off I-16 at exit 104. Toll free at 1-800-972-3388 or online anytime at mentorford.com.
Hello, this is Brian Burke of Blunt, Burke, Quimbley & Hendricks Insurers. As a trusted choice agency, we can offer multiple insurance companies and a variety of coverage choices. For helpful, easy-to-understand information about auto, home, life, health, or business insurance, give our agency a call. With excellent insurance carriers like the Central Insurance Companies, we can tailor an insurance program to meet your needs. Blunt, Burke, Quimbley & Hendricks Insurers, your trusted choice agent in the New Market District, 764-9602.
4th quarter, 38-21. Georgia Southern leads over West Georgia. They trailed 21-10 at the half.
Hey, Ryan, I got a quick question for you. You think he still would have proposed had we not been winning?
I have no idea, but that proposal that just happened in the end zone here with the athletic marketing department wouldn't have been a whole lot of fun about, an hour and a half ago.
Maybe they were planning it at halftime. And
let's saw it off for a minute. Let's all just calm down. Fans can get rowdy.
We assume she said yes. 38-21. Hartley puts a foot on it. High kick gives the team plenty of time to get down there. Howard going to field it and smothered up at the 24-yard line. That's where West Georgia takes over. I'm assuming.
Ryan's getting the
Brent
update down there.
She said yes.
All right, did she say yes?
Right? She said yes.
All right.
Brent Jones has confirmed it.
That's why we need Ryan on the sidelines. Fans, Georgia Southern football presented in part by the University Store, your one-stop shop for all things Southern. They invite you to shop anytime for great one-of-a-kind Georgia Southern gifts at GSUstore.com. The University Store, your one-stop shop for all things Southern. The Badcock Furniture scoring recap. It was true freshman Zeke Rozier getting his 2nd touchdown of the night, powering it in from the 2-yard line. Keats Baldwin with the Wolves offense. Steps up in the pocket. Got one man on him. Hit as he throws in the air. And a catch is made at 36-yard line of Georgia Southern. As on coverage that time, we got a flag way back here at the line of scrimmage at the 27-yard line.
That's what I'd like to call one of those beautiful Jake Delhomme passes. Just underthrow your receiver and let your receiver come back to it.
Terry O'Benefield that time in coverage just kind of, there wasn't a lot of pushing and shoving. He lost his footing, and then going up to grab the catch was Ron Dixon, but that highlight reel for the Wolves may be coming back.
Solid job by Benefield on that. If you think about it, he lost his footing right at the end.
Illegal pass. Offense, number 17. 5 yards from the spot. Lost it down. Second down.
So they lose their down on the miscue by the Wolves there and negate a pretty big play to try to give them a shot in the arm with 9:25 to go. Here in the fourth quarter, Eagles up 38-21. You got to credit the Wolves, though, in that first half. But as Coach Hatcher said, and Terry reiterated early on, first time this team and the coaches have went to battle together. And the first half maybe was a feeling out period. Steve Ballou, the intended receiver, on the quick pass out to the far side, up around the 21. It's incomplete. Sets up third down and 12. The guys at the sticks are waiting to get it right. They lost the down on first. There we go. 3rd and 12 at the 22 for the Wolves here with 9:13 remaining in the fourth quarter.
5 defensive backs on the field for the Eagles.
Expecting to see a 4-3 and the nickel D from defensive coordinator Ashley Anders. We get the nickel package out there here on 3rd down and 12. Baldwin probably going to have Kennebrew back there to block, and it is. Throw across the middle. The grab is made at the 34 by Jimmy Howard under high duress on the coverage. Brandon Eccles, but a nice catch by Howard and another good throw by Baldwin right in the numbers, and it's right up near the sticks here, and we'll wait on the placement.
We talked about Keith Baldwin, his ability to run tonight, his passing ability, and how he's able to step up in the pocket and run with it. That instance, there's his ability to stay in the pocket knowing he's about to be drilled, which he was, and deliver a great pass and a great catch.
At last check, ladies and gentlemen, 505 total yards of offense for Georgia Southern here. And yes, the bulk of that in the second half. Here's a handoff. Kennebrew trying to go left side. The wall of Eagles pull him down shy of the line of scrimmage. Take your pick in the blue and white. They knew where it was going. Not a good fake that time by Baldwin.
Another quick update from down here on the sidelines. Brent Jones also confirms that Searsucker is, in fact, still in style. Back to you.
Was he wearing seersucker when he proposed?
No, he's in yellow, but I think the guy was in seersucker.
I think he was. Look for that quarterback. Look for Baldwin to keep it coming up again. A little over pursuit by Georgia Southern. Wouldn't be surprised if he decides to keep it like he did before.
Second down and 10 at the 35. Snap to Baldwin. Swing pass trying to get it to Kennebrew. Got one tackle beat. Beats two tackles. Still on his feet at the 30. Now changes direction back to the middle of the field and slung down at the 36.
Chris, I believe, and Ryan, correct me if I'm wrong, that was going to be a little trickery. He was looking to pass the ball. He did not expect the linebacker, Taylor, to be in his face so fast he had to pull it back down.
And that's the difference in pursuit, I think, from the first half, is that even with the trickery, I think people are staying a little bit more patient, a little bit more in their lanes.
No, there was no chance for that to be a pass based on the fact that he was lucky just to come up with the catch. Third down and 8 at the 37. They'll send trips wide to the left, one to the right side. On 3rd and 8 from the 37, Baldwin steps in the pocket, got grabbed, gets free, goes to the sideline, slings one, and it is incomplete wide, out of bounds on the far side at the Eagle 35-yard line. Intended receiver Ron Dixon just wide in front of the Wolves bench. 7:20, clock stops here, 38-21, Eagles lead. In the opening game of the 2007 season in the Chris Hatcher era, as we talked about, the stats were overwhelmingly in favor of the West Georgia Wolves at the end of the first half, but that has changed here based on a pretty aggressive defense stepping up. And the Hatch attack, at least in tonight's game, has been formed on the ground with Jason Foster, Zeke Rozier, and Lamar Lewis. Here's the punt. Guberman again trying to kick it away from Andrews, and this one's out of bounds, and they will mark it out at the 22-yard line.
To clarify a comment made earlier, I said that Keats was lucky to be able to check down, to get the time to check down to his third and fourth options. And maybe I shouldn't say lucky, but fortunate to have the time because of the protection his offensive line was getting. The difference now is he's not getting that extra second and a half, and that third and fourth option that may open up if the play goes long enough, he's not able to get to anymore.
Yeah, it was before he was stepping up. And you give credit where credit's due. I got to tell you, their wide receivers for West Georgia, very, very good wide receiving corps. They're holding on to the ball. Yes, that last pass, he caught it out of bounds, but it was a great catch by that receiver. They're doing a solid job of catching, but also blocking as well.
Chris Teal, true freshman out of Cairo, Georgia, checks in wide to the right as the Eagles take over 1st and 10 at the 23. Foster in at quarterback, gives it to Lewis. Lewis dancing around, finding some room on that left side of the line up across the 25 to the 26. Jeremy Terry with the stop.
And Terry, you actually hit the nail on the head. It's stepping up into the pocket that really, because the pocket wasn't collapsing, that was giving him that extra second and a half. And you see now, as the offensive line is kind of tired down, he's not able to step up in that pocket anymore. That third and fourth option is just not there anymore.
That left and right, that left side of the line for the Eagles doing a very solid job tonight. Herrera and Williams. Lance Jerez doing a fine job at center position.
6:39 to go in the game. 2nd down and 7 at the 26 of their own. Foster and Lewis in the backfield. They're going to keep it. Foster steps away from one defender, breaks a couple of ankles. He's free up to the 45, across midfield, heads to the far sideline, puts it in 6th gear, breaks a tackle. He's to the 10, to the 5. Put an Eagle 6 on it. Touchdown, Georgia Southern. Jason Foster shows why, whatever level, whatever division, he's one of the most exciting players in college football as he rips that off from his own 26-yard line, and they'll need some tape, will the trainers for the West Georgia Wolves.
Fakes handoff to the left, right, takes around the left tackle, cuts it back to the right, leaves everybody in the dust, and when he gets into the end zone, he's so nice in the presence of mind to turn around and help one of the Wolves up.
Here's the point after. This one's up. We got flags, though. It goes to the upright, but flags come out immediately after the touchdowns. 45-21 as Jason Foster picks up his 3rd touchdown of the night.
That's got to put the rushing at yards over 400 now.
Yeah, we were standing somewhere around 380.
Yeah, that's well over 400 now.
Before 76 yards.
74
yards, rather.
450 yards unofficially now on the ground.
Well, the question all this week and for the last couple of weeks is, does the hatch attack mean throwing the football all over the field? And Coach Hatcher has said it's putting the best players in the right positions, putting them in space to make the big play. And tonight it has been on the ground. And, maybe we haven't said it enough, but the offensive line, who we knew was an anchor and a strength coming into this season because of the veteran leadership up there with Russell Orr, Lance Suarez stepping in to replace one of the better snappers in Georgia Southern history in Lance Wayne. He's doing a nice job. Brad Williams, Marcelo Estrada, Dio Herrera, all those guys really letting the offensive backs show their skills here tonight.
You have to wonder, as a defensive coordinator, if you're looking at this game film as you prepare for Georgia Southern. As we talked about Ryan earlier, Lewis and a Foster, as we've seen multiple times tonight, taking an ordinary play and turning it into an extraordinary highlight film that should be on ESPN.
And especially when you're talking about Hamilton and Lewis and Zeke Rozier, it's not only the long runs, but it's the sustaining runs. It's the ones that have gotten past the 3rd downs. And Chris had talked about the 3rd down conversion rate being abysmal in the first half. And that was what was leading to killing in the time of possession, because they weren't able to sustain the drives. And these runs they've been able to make have, even though they've been overshadowed by maybe Jason Foster's runs, they've been able to sustain some drives and allow Foster to break one open.
You know what it also did, Chris and Ryan? You hear this crowd? It has kept the crowd here tonight. It's going to invigorate them to finish this ball game. Jason's running to the locker room. I'm sure Ryan will get us an update on that, probably for some water at this point.
Probably. He sprinted off down the near sideline, on the sidelines, and headed into the locker room. Scoring recap by Babcock Furniture of Statesboro. Jason Foster, 74 yards, gets his 3rd touchdown of the night. 45-21, and after the penalty assessed unsportsmanlike, they move the football up, and Hartley will kick this one from the 45, and this one he will send out of the back of the end zone.
Is it good? A little wide left. He tried to split the uprights on the kickoff, and hey, we talked about our kicking game.
Well, I heard Coach Hatcher a couple of weeks ago when asked about the kicking game. He said, well, if you'll arrive around 6 p.m., and I'm paraphrasing here, arrive around 6 p.m. at Paulson Stadium, if we run out our kicker and he kicks field goals and point afters, and Coach Hatcher's got a good kicker. And so far tonight, Jesse Hartley, the transfer out of Tallahassee, Florida, He's done his job. It's 45-21, 6:21 to go here in the game. And the Wolves will start at the 20-yard line, and the goodbye chance start here from the student section across the way.
Tale of two halves for Georgia Southern.
Joey Tuttle, T.J. Watkins, Damon Suggs, and Brandon Lee Williams will be in on the action up front defensively. They'll keep it on the ground on 1st and 10. Not much doing there. Maybe a yard. That's it. 6:09 the clock rolls here. Looked like David Lewis defensively with his teammates shut down the run quickly.
Baldwin trying to keep it. We talked about him handing it off on that. He keeps it. And right there to meet him is Lewis, not able to shake and bake him. He held his ground, did a solid job at linebacker.
5:49 and counting. 45-21 your score. Keats Baldwin entirely tonight out of the shotgun. He's going to look downfield here. Has no choice. Airs this one out. Going up for it. Picked off. Henry Chubbs got it for the INT at the Eagles' 44-yard line. 5:37 to go. And boy, how the tables turned in a half of football. And you just got to go back, Eagle fans. As Ryan talked with Coach Hatcher going into the locker room, as I mentioned, calm and collected. He said, we've got to execute better. We've got to get rhythm on the offensive side of the ball and find a way to stop them offensively. And here in this final second half, that's just the way the coach scripted it up so far with 5:37 to go and a 45-21 lead. Eagles back on the field.
Foster is, in fact, fine.
Yeah, that's what we thought. Travis Clark in at quarterback. He'll hand it off. We got our halfback, Dusty Reddick, getting a carry. He's across midfield into Wolf territory at the 48-yard line. Good pickup by Dusty Reddick. The pride of Screven County.
I won't reveal the patient-doctor deal, but he'll be back in a minute.
Henry Chubb, the transfer Chris was talking about with that interception out of Troy. Last year he played 13 games with the Trojans. He had 35 tackles, 26 solos, 2 tackles for loss, and 1 interception. So chalk 1 interception up for Georgia Southern now.
5:03 remaining. Clark again out of a gun. Receiver to each side. This time they'll give it off to Sean Gray, the halfback. He'll try to cut right tackle and picks up maybe a yard. It'll make it 3rd down and we'll say a short 4, long 3 coming up with 4:47 as we roll inside 5 minutes. And for all of you who made it out here to Boston Stadium, we congratulate you and thank you. And I know Coach Hatcher certainly will do so as well, because he said it can make the difference when a team comes in to Boston Stadium when it's a raucous place. And I think the Wolves will attest to the fact that some good playing by the Eagles had them run out of gas, but they certainly didn't have many friends here in the stands. We got a flag coming out as Clark completes the pass. Tim Camps got it inside the 35 down to the 30-yard line. Georgia Southern on the ground, 36 carries, 458 yards thus far. Total offense, 48 plays, 582 net yards. But not a bad night for the Wolves. 77 plays for 335 yards. But now take a look at the possession. 33 minutes for the Wolves and 20 for the Eagles. But if you're only going to run 2 or 3 plays as you bust off 54, 57, and 74-yard touchdown runs, you don't need the ball a long time.
Personal foul was called against the Eagles. It's going to bring that ball back. Replay the down, back up the Eagles a good bit. But, Ryan, good to see Clark roll out right there, get his feet set, and fire the ball into camp.
Yeah, it is. And we talked a lot about it on the pregame. You know, Travis Clark was put in a situation, it's very tough on a transfer and a young guy coming in last year, and he's got a great arm, and he's a heck of a guy. And even quarterbacks that have the strong arms, he's got some mobility. And as we've seen tonight on a couple times, he's taken off a tough kid. He'll put his helmet down and take off.
3rd down and 18 as they back him up to the 36-yard line of their very own with 3:47 to go as Clark out of a shotgun. 3 steps back, fires across the middle. This one's going to be incomplete. Looking for Chris Ashkuti. That one had to turn him around just a little bit before he could come up with the reception.
And on that same note, Ryan, about Clark, is his arm strength, is his strength, and it's also his weakness.
That was something that was talked about a lot last year, and it's something I was just about to say, is that sometimes he has such a good arm and so much velocity coming off that ball. Sometimes it's just, just spins away from you a little bit.
He fired that ball right in there. It was a rocket.
Well, here's a guy we haven't seen in some time. Dan Jordan steps onto the field here with 3:40 to play. Dan will kick it away from the 21-yard line. Wolves try to come after it. He boots it away. Nice high kick. Johnson tries to get under it. Now gets out of the way as it takes a bounce for the Eagles inside the 20 and will be down right around the 16-yard line with 3:29 to go. The Eagles up 45-21.
Dan Jordan, his fifth punt. He's averaging well over 40, or about 48 yards a punt tonight. So Dan, well on his way to setting a new Georgia Southern season or career record on his punting average. And if he does that, of course, Chris, he'll knock my good buddy Don Norton out of the way.
Your hero.
My hero, the head coach of Johnson County High School, recorded a big victory the other night, Wrightsville.
Taking a look at some of the unofficial numbers at this point. Jason Foster, 11 carries, 232 yards, and 3 touchdowns on the night. 1st and 10 at the 15. Baldwin again. Works out of a shotgun, gets a low snap off to Holloway, trying to get outside on the far sideline. Gets up across near the 20 before he's bounced out of bounds.
I should correct you, Terry. It's Wrightsville.
Oh, is that right?
Not Wrightsville. It's Wrightsville.
Give you the Badcock Furniture scoring recap. It all got started back in the first quarter. 13:59 to go. Jason Foster, 54-yard run. Hartley with a point after. Eagles up 7-0. 9:04 to go in that first quarter. West Georgia on a James Kennebrew 4-yard run. Gooberman kick is good to tie it up at 7 apiece. With 5:12 to go after a blocked punt, Jesse Hartley hits a 21-yard field goal to put the Eagles up 10-7. We'll continue that after this 2nd down and 7 play. Baldwin out of a gun, takes a snap, pocket collapses. Tries to throw it, nearly had the ball deflected and just got rid of it. Incomplete at the 19-yard line. Looking for Jonathan Loving.
21,459, I think you said, Terry?
Yes, sir.
And I'd be willing to bet they'll all be back.
I'd like to see them all drive up to Myrtle Beach next Saturday.
Conway's beautiful. I'll be there on Tuesday morning. And
you're going to go a little early, are you?
Yeah.
Continuing with the Badcock Furniture scoring recap. After the Eagles led 10-7 in the second quarter, West Georgia 7-yard touchdown pass to Daniel Johnson made it 14-10. Here's the 3rd down and 7 play with Holloway and Baldwin in the backfield. Baldwin in the pocket, throws this one without looking, and it is picked off. Tipped and bounced and finally held on to as he falls to the carpet. Chris Collier gets the 2nd INT of the game. The Eagles now have the ball at the 41-yard line of West Georgia. As again, Baldwin's just slinging it out there, and Collier went up for it, got it in his hands, bounced away, but he come down with it before falling on the carpet. 2nd INT of the game, 3:11 to go, 4th quarter, 45-21, and we'll see some fresh blue and white jerseys, I imagine, here on the offensive side of the ball.
Don't be surprised if you see Billy Love.
You see Zeke Rozier coming out, and indeed you speak. And you get Billy Lowe. Checks in, number 13, the quarterback. He'll be back there with true freshman Zeke Rozier here with 2 receivers left side, 1 to the right on 1st and 10 from the 44-yard line. Billy Lowe hands it off. Rozier up the middle. Hard charging yards for about 3 on the pickup. Now I'll try to get back to that scoring recap. We were at 14-10. Then West Georgia struck again with 2:51 to go in the second quarter. An 11-yard run by Keats Baldwin falling into the end zone puts the Wolves up 21-10, and that's where we finished the first half. Georgia Southern, though, wasted no time getting started in the third quarter. Jason Foster, 56-yard run with 7:13 to go. Cut the lead, or took the lead, and made the lead 21-17 for the Wolves. As this time, Billy Lowe's got it, keeping it over on the right side, inside the 40 to about the 38-yard line, something we can get accustomed to. Billy Lowe likes to run with the ball, and he's not afraid to lay a hit as a quarterback.
No, he's not afraid to lay a hit. He's a big guy as well, another Floridian on this roster, 6'3", 215 pounds. And like you mentioned, he fakes the handoff, tuck the ball, and run with it. You got to like that.
3rd down and 4 from the 38. Ladies and gentlemen, bear with me. When you have 66 points on the board, it takes a while to get through a scoring recap. 3rd and 4 here from the Eagles at the Wolves' 38-yard line, working from the right hash. Lowe again, working as the quarterback. Going to keep it again. Finds a hole right side. 1st down and then some. Lowers the shoulders and buries down to about the 30, just inside the 30-yard line with 1:47 to go.
For fans of prep football here in the state, Billy Lowe is from a very, very rich program down in Lakeland, Florida. has produced a lot of good football players over the years.
So another first down and 10 as the clock continues to roll, and the Eagles will keep it on the ground here with 1:40 to go. After the Eagles got within 21-17, it took Zeke Rozier, the true freshman, 41 yards to put the Eagles back on top 24-21 with 3:04 to go in that third quarter. First, here's the 1st and 10. Gives it off. Rozier started up the middle, now tries to bounce it outside, trying to get away from tacklers. He's pulled down for a loss of 2 yards. Back across the 30 to about the 32-yard line. We started the fourth quarter with the Eagles up 24-21. And 14-16 mark, McIntosh takes an 81-yard pass from Jason Foster to put the Eagles up 31-21, a 10-point lead, and the Eagles have not looked back. Zeke Rozier, his second touchdown of the night, came at the 9:41 mark on a 1-yard run, making it 38-21. And with 6:21 to go, Jason Foster caps off a spectacular night, 74-yard touchdown run, makes it 45-21. And with under a minute to play, on 2nd and 13, it's off to Rozier again. This time he'll be hammered back right around the line of scrimmage. It'll set up 3rd down and about 12 as we're down to 30 seconds remaining here in the ball game. So the Chris Hatcher era may have had some doubts there in that first half. And after the Eagles came back out, after they put Coach Irk Russell's name up on the stadium here at Paulson, a little bit of that Eagle magic woke up, and the Eagles will get their first win on the year to move to 1-0. And for the West Georgia Wolves, they'll fall to 1-1 as we have the final 7 seconds as the clock ticks down and the fans get on their feet to let the Eagles know they appreciate the effort. The horn sounds. This one's in the books. The Eagles win 45-21 over West Georgia.